Guys, welcome to another episode of the Let's Talk Wealth podcast. I have no idea where this one is going to go today, but it is, I hope to God that the editing team edited all the stuff that was while the cameras were recording, but not supposed to be on. But it's going to be fun today. This is the podcast where we are focused on having authentic conversations with interesting people. Today, we had a great guest planned who had to cancel on us last second. So you guys are stuck with Sam.
Hi.
Just messing. Sam is a great guy, great friend. I'm really excited for him to share his story. Just a quick overview of Sam. So Sam Dasios is a seasoned wedding DJ and MC with over 13 years of experience. Widely recognized as Montana's highest rated wedding DJ. He handles everything from planning and coordination to music and day of scheduling, so couples can just relax and enjoy their big day. Known for his high energy, charisma, and ability to keep the dance floor packed all night, Sam's earned glowing reviews from hundreds of happy clients. You can learn more at djdasios.com. If I could read, that'd go a lot better, but sometimes
that was pretty good.
Hard.
That was pretty good.
Man, Sam, I am happy to have you. I think this is going to be fun. No idea what's going to happen.
Me neither. That makes it fun.
We might get canceled, but
no.
Let's see what happens.
Hey, Josie said no, we're not getting canceled.
Yeah, let's hope.
I literally feel like sometimes I'm here, not all the time, but I feel like sometimes I'm here to be like, that's not appropriate. That's not gonna fly.
It's just the role.
You guys gotta cut that out too.
So we got a referee here.
Because I'm like the Gen Z. I'm on social media. I'm like, yeah, you can't say that.
I wish we could bring up the things that Josie was talking about.
Oh my God!
No,
she wants to talk about us. She wants to talk about us.
I'm saying online.
Online. All right. So
that's fair.
So
no, I get it. You know.
See, this is the thing though. Again, it's authentic conversation. So that's the point is like, hey, this is America. We can talk about whatever we want to talk about and people don't have to watch and people don't have to like it. That's okay. But with that said, Sam, thank you so much for being here. We're really excited to talk and, you got a great story, man, which I'm excited to have you share with everybody. But like I was telling you before we start, I always like to kick things off with a question, and it's kind of a more serious question. I'm sure we're going to have fun and joke around, but I think it just gives people the opportunity to know who you are and just kind of what matters to you. And so that question is, if you had one message that you could share with the world and somehow everybody in the world was magically going to hear it on something that's either positively impacted you or made a really big difference in your life, what would you share with people?
I suppose my answer to that, and I don't know if it's something that has been said a lot, I feel like it's a pretty common thing. It's control what you can control, kind of in life. And you know, they have the saying where it's like you can't control the winds, but you can control how you adjust your sails and what direction like life will take you. In my experience, at least in life, I've moved from a different continent to an American town, moving to a bigger city. Life situations change. You just gotta adapt and make the best out of everything that gets thrown your way. Even if there's a ton of negatives, find a way to spin one of those 10 negatives into a slight positive and just keep rolling with that. And I guess it comes down to, it's almost like compound interest, right? You do something, you find one little positive in something, and then focus on that. It turns into another, it turns into another. So just try to just keep rolling with the changes, adapt, take a punch back.
And with that, because, we've talked a little bit before, and even I think on our last meeting, you were sharing some of your story and what it was like for you, like you said, moving from a different country, shifting continents, not knowing the language, and going to what you're saying.
What are you talking about? I speak excellent English.
And so just controlling what you can control.
Right.
So, how did you learn those lessons, and where does that come from? How do you feel like that became something that you thought was important enough to be the one thing you wanted to share with people?
It almost becomes sink or swim. In a sense, right? Just like you said. So I moved from Greece I moved to the States when I'm 17 years old, right? I know kind of some English, but I don't understand a lot of the slang and I don't know all of that. So now you're the 17-year-old Greek boy that grew up in a city of 1 million people, and now you're living in a small town in Montana named Troy, Montana, where it's like 1,000 people tops, maybe, like some goats and cows and horses and stuff. And I don't know if they count the population or not, but and you're totally forced to adapt to a brand new environment. You don't understand a lot of the slang. You don't understand a lot of just the day-to-day activities. Your life is so different. You're used to being in the city, and now you're living in a very small town. You have to learn another language. Everyone dresses differently. The things they do for fun are different. I'm used to going out to like clubs is where we would have our prom nights in Greece, and now the idea of something fun is driving 20 miles up in the woods and making a bonfire and listening to Nickelback and people shotgunning Keystone Lights, like life. Whoa. But yeah, I got thrown out into the deep end. Well, shallow for Troy, but whatever. And you just gotta learn how to adapt. Yeah.
And you said you came from Greece. So
yeah.
What made you move over here? And especially to Troy, Montana. I don't even think I've been there.
Don't. No. Well, my situation, my parents got divorced. My dad was originally from Troy, Montana. We were all living in Greece. And when my parents split up, my dad moved back to the States. And I kind of just, I'm 16, 17 at the time, kind of just took a leap of faith. I was always interested. Like I would be the guy that would stay up till 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning watching American sports back then, right? Because like with the time difference, Greece being 9 hours ahead, that's what time everything would air. So I was always super interested in that. And I was like, you know what? Like I've been watching American TV long enough. I know English decently enough. I basically said, screw it. Let's try something different. I could kind of tell, like, Greece, the economy was starting to kind of go down the shitter. Am I allowed to say shitter?
You're allowed to say shitter.
Shitter. But that was starting to kind of go down, and I just wanted to try something different. And I thought, what bigger life change could I make than uprooting everything I know that's a delicate age, right? You're a teenager. You're still, like, coming into yourself, like, trying to figure out who you are in life. And, yeah, that's how I ended up here. And I was in Troy because that's where my dad was, obviously. And then ended up doing college in Missoula just because I was still pretty new here. And I wanted to be close enough to Troy where I had a home base, where my dad was. But voila, here we are now.
Yeah, that's a huge move. And so your dad, was he from Troy?
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah,
just like,
he's Greek American. Like his dad, my grandpa, was Greek American that used to live in Greece with $7 in his pocket, and he came to Troy, Montana. Insert random Greek accent, but yeah, that's kind of like the backstory there.
And so, yeah, so what was it like? I mean, just growing up in Greece, like what was that like? And you were talking about some of the changes, and just maybe you can kind of highlight just how big of a culture shock that was, and what it was like going from where you were at. And one thing I'm always curious too about with people is that when someone is learning another language, it's got to be really hard to still be your normal self. Because I think about, I'm a pretty like outgoing, gregarious person, but then if you threw me into a country where I don't speak the language, it's hard to kind of continue being that person, I would imagine. I don't know. I've never been in that position. So you and the person you are, were you always this outgoing? And then was that something that you then had to like kind of put on hold while you're figuring it out, or did you kind of adopt into being more outgoing because of being in a completely new situation?
The biggest thing with me is that, so you grew up in a city of a million, right? You're always out and about. It's always people. You're used to being in big environments. And that was just kind of like the city life. Everyone was loud. Greeks are loud. Greeks are loud. They talk a lot. That's kind of how I grew up. That's why I think I am the way that I am. But the biggest adjustment for me when I moved here, there were certain like phrases or like slang when it comes to English that don't translate over to Greek at all. So I was always this outgoing, but I had to second think about a lot of the things I was saying, like things that I would say in Greek that are like natural. I don't know, like there's certain like phrases, right? Like let's say in Greece, they say it's raining. If it's like raining hardcore, it's like, the American translation would be like, it's raining chair legs. Here we say like, it's raining cats and dogs. If I said that in Greece, it'd be like, you're an idiot, right? So there's like certain expressions that I wanted to say in like conversation that I had to like hit pause on and be like, okay, how can I, because even syntax, Greek grammar versus English, the way we put our sentences together, I was like, this makes sense in Greece, but if I say it the same exact way in English, they're going to think I'm the biggest moron ever because this doesn't add up. So a lot of times my personality would have to kind of like, I'd have to be like, okay, stop. This is how you say this. Okay, this makes sense. This doesn't make sense. And as I said, I had a base knowledge of English. It's
How
not like,
good was your English when you first came to the States?
it had a little bit of an accent, I'd say. But I basically got bullied into not having one anymore. I mean, I had to learn, right? It wasn't like a hardcore, terrible accent because I grew up speaking both languages. So my mom would only speak Greek to me when I was growing up, basically, and my dad would speak English to me. So you just learn both at the same time, and you're like a sponge when you're a kid, right? Like you absorb everything there. So it wasn't like a hardcore accent. I had a pretty good knowledge of English, but I wouldn't say I was 100% comfortable yet.
Yeah, that's I feel like that would be just a very weird position to be put in to like, now I have to try and completely, like you said, like I've been trying to teach myself Chinese, and as I've been teaching myself, what you're saying is at a very small level, what I'm seeing is just like how different one language is from the next, and where you put certain words that make sense here and then certain things in English that you need to have. And like, so I've just always wondered about that. Like if you move to a new spot, how do you maintain who you are as a person, you know?
Well, and small town kids are mean.
Yeah.
Because you said you were bullied. And
Yeah.
so.
It wasn't like hardcore bullying. It was more so like, this is how we talk. This is what we do. And now the new kid is put in this situation. I have to learn. It's sink or swim, one of those types of things. And like, yeah, small towns, they were kind of mean, you know, because like they're looking at, you look at this like kid that has a little more tan skin, that kind of has an accent, and you know how the small town mentality is. It's, who the fuck is that? You know?
They just don't want you to steal their cousins. It's like the dating pool's so limited.
Yup. No cousin stealing.
From
No.
Clydesdale.
Okay, cut that, please. I don't want that in there. That's not going in there.
Don't cut that.
That's definitely not going in there.
Don't cut that. Don't cut it.
Oh god.
Hey, that's why I know.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's
So
fair.
yeah, and so like what then? I mean, so you get over here. You said you were 17, 16, 17.
Yep.
What? So
6, 7.
6, 7. Oh god, my 8-year-old.
I'm just trying to relate to the 20-year-old.
Yeah,
so.
to the kids in the room.
I don't know words.
Child, please.
What? I mean, so what grades? You were showing up in 11th grade or 10th grade?
11th.
11th.
So I was a junior.
Okay. And were you like? I mean, even going into school was. How was that? Hey, welcome to being a junior in American school.
I know.
How did that work?
The funniest part about that is I didn't have to take a lot of the classes that other juniors did, because you had to have like this many years of like biology, or this many years of chemistry, or this many years of physics and math. All of those requirements I had done in Greece by the time I was in 8th grade.
Wow.
School in Greece is way harder. The
Yeah.
exams to get in college, because college is free there, but the exams to get in are absolutely insane. Everything is so difficult. And I honestly thought American high school was the easiest shit ever. It's stuff we were doing in 7th and 8th grade, and
Yeah.
they were teaching it in like 10th, 11th grade there.
So the schoolwork was no problem.
No.
No.
I didn't think it was difficult. I mean, a lot of times the language sometimes I had to understand like a few things there and there, but like the core concepts of everything, especially when it comes to any sciences, most of the words are Greek there anyway. So I already knew what kind of, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd already done everything, yeah.
And then so from there, you said you decided to move here, go to school. You went to the University of Montana. What did you know?
Well, I moved back to Greece for 1 year after, mostly because, you know, Greece is one of those countries where you don't leave until it's time to like get married. You don't leave the household, right? I think Italy is kind of like that too. Here in the States, as you turn 18 years old, get the hell out of the house, go to college, you know, the American dream, right? Find a girl, you have 2 kids, a boy and a girl, white picket fence outside, American dream. Ah. In Greece, you stay with your family until you find the girl that you're going to get married to. So I don't know if I had this like sense of guilt, but I did miss home. I had become pretty adjusted to American life by then. You know, sports is what really got me comfortable, like playing soccer, being in track, playing basketball for Troy. That's what really locked me in. That's what made me feel comfortable. That's how I fell in love with the States in the first place, is watching American sports the whole time. So I feel like there's some type of connection there. But went back to Greece, tried to do a year of college to be an English teacher in Thessaloniki. That's the city I grew up in. But that's when everything kind of started going to shit. There were strikes and riots, and I had become Americanized at that point. I feel
When
like
you say Americanized, because I know that there's probably some cultural differences.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
when I say Americanized, I loved having a set schedule where I know if something's supposed to happen at 3, it's going to happen at 3. I know there's not going to be like a random riot or like the bus, because like public transportation entirely shut down. I like being organized. And in Greece, and I love Greece. I will always go back and visit. It's a very it'll happen. It happens on, you know how they say like it happens on island time?
Yeah.
It's kind of how Greece is. It's like, well, this might happen, this might not happen. If it doesn't, who cares? You know? And maybe that's kind of how I roll. Like I learn how to roll with punches a lot in life too. Maybe that's a part of it. I don't know. It probably is, to be honest. Just like be adaptable, flexible, and just learn how to roll with it.
So you were talking about some of the differences in culture. So like your whole family still in Greece then? Is that right?
Everyone except my dad.
Okay.
Everyone except my dad, and I have an uncle in Troy as well, but everyone else is there, yeah.
How do they view you? I mean, because one of the questions I was going to ask you is, and you kind of hit on it, like, oh, I just want to try something new, but to leave your mom, do you have any siblings?
I do.
Yeah.
I have a younger brother named George. He still lives in Thessaloniki, yeah.
So like, that's a big choice. Was it literally just like, I want to try something new, so I'm going to do this? Or was it like, hey, this is a big opportunity? Or, to leave your family, to leave everything you know as a teenage boy is a big choice. Is it like, oh, I just want to follow my dad? Like, what was really the reason behind that?
Combination of all of that. My dad really wanted me there too. He had kind of like orchestrated this thing where like we went to visit one summer, and then suddenly there were like high school coaches, a basketball coach is coming to talk to me. And it's like, it was pretty premeditated, man. But I was already thinking about it. It was already in the back of my mind, because I had just come to visit. I had only packed for 2 weeks. I was fully planning on going back to Greece, but while I was there, everything just clicked for me. Like everything just kind of added up, and it didn't make sense for me to go back. And it was the hardest summer of my life, though, I'd say. Watching your mom and like younger brother at the time, who was 9 at the time, just drive off in the car heading for the airport, and you're just sitting there basically just lifeless. Like, did I just fuck up? Or did I just make the best decision of my life? You don't know. You're 16 years old, and you're in a brand new country now. And it's like, here we go.
So, and to make sure I understand, so you guys all came over?
So me, my mom, and my brother all came to visit in the summer leading up to 2005.
And their mom and dad had already separated.
You know, like 3 years after you were born.
Yeah.
You knew where that shit was going.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yep. Your mom and dad are already separated.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
your mom just came with you guys because you guys were, still minors.
Yeah. We came. It was my brother's. It was my brother's first time.
Okay.
It was my brother's first time in the States.
And so you guys come, and I'm sorry I interrupt you. So
No,
you
you're good.
guys came over here to visit. You packed for 2 weeks.
2 weeks, because
Okay.
I packed for 2 weeks, fully planning on going back. And those 2 weeks, whether it was convincing from my father, whether it was me just being like, you know what, like, it's time. It was a combination of everything. It was always in the back of my mind. I thought I'm more equipped to live in the U.S. than I was in Greece, because in Greece, all my friends, that's all they knew. All they knew was Greece. I had spent a few summers growing up I had spent a few summers of my life in Troy, Montana, when I was like, I visited in like 92, many years before you were born.
Before my time.
Yeah, like dinosaur era.
I agree.
1900s.
Yeah, back in the 1900s. I had visited Troy a few times, and I was like, this is fun. This is cool. The school looks cool. It was already in the back of my mind. And then I was like, you know what? Here's my opportunity. Let's pull the trigger. Let's do this. So.
And then when you were telling, because I know that was probably kind of a hard conversation, because you mentioned your dad was trying to convince you to stay. What was the conversation like with your mom when you were like, I'm not going back with you?
Literally the hardest summer of my life. I am 39 now, and you know how you get like PTSD from certain things that like happen in your life that you can still very visibly just like remember, like it's so vivid. It was more of a look. It was a couple days before we were supposed to fly back, and my brother is kind of start to do a little light packing of the things that we need and doing laundry and getting ready to go back to Greece. And they're kind of looking at me like, "Are you gonna start?" And like when you look at someone, it's like a breakup. When you're like breaking up with someone and like you'd see like the emotion is just not there anymore, and it's kind of just dead, and you don't know what to do, you don't know what to say, and you don't want to hurt someone, but you're also like not committed to this anymore. I kind of just felt blank. I knew what was right for me, but I was also in this mentality: is this selfish of me? Am I turning my back on my family for taking a chance on something I feel like is right for me personally? Am I thinking too much of me and putting my family behind? So it was hard. It was difficult. And it was one of those things that it was never like the full conversation, like, "Mom, I'm staying." It was one of those things that you could just tell. And then the day came and
So when you were visiting, when did you know you were staying? Because you probably made your decision before, like with what you were just talking about. Was there a time during that trip where you're like, "I'm staying in America"?
yeah, probably like 5 days before we were supposed to fly back. And it was something as simple as there was an open gym run in the gym, just playing ball, right? So a lot of the like local high school kids and some from like Libby were down there, and we're just playing some basketball, listening to music. Like Troy, it's not like Troy is like this nice, like unbelievable place in Montana, but the gym there is nicer than any gym I had ever grown up playing on. I was playing basketball on concrete floors with like broken backboards and nets that were barely hanging on. Some were chain nets, some were nets that were just like barely like hanging by a thread, where sometimes you'd have to like scan the area for like needles for like people doing drugs in parks and stuff, and you had to like clear them out of the way. Or when we'd play soccer, sometimes you'd set up like 2 Coca-Cola cans, and those were our posts, right? So like I'm here and I go and I play ball there in this gym, and I'm like, "Dude, like this is where you guys play ball every day?" And he's like, "Yeah." Like it's common sense, right? So like the things that we take for granted here that we didn't have overseas. And then I went to Libby, that's 18 miles away, and they have this like nice ass soccer field. I had never played soccer on a field like that. And I was like, wait, if I stay here, I was like, well, I know I'm going to make Libby soccer team. Like that's not going to be difficult. I was like, I get to play on this field every day. I get to play, I know I'm going to play basketball for Troy too, and I'm going to be playing here. The schools are clean, they're organized. I was like, damn. I knew about 5 days before, but those 5 days felt like 5 years because you don't know how to verbalize it. You don't know how to vocalize it. You just feel numb inside because you feel like you're betraying like 17 years of your life, everything that you knew.
Well, and how do you think that has changed up until this point? Like, how's your relationship with your mom? Does she agree with the decision you made now?
Yeah. And it's a lot of pride, right? Greeks have a lot of pride in who they are in their country, and they're so happy to be from there and all those things that at first it was a shock. At first it was like this like massive shock. Sam left. Like he's living in America now. But no, our relationship's great. We talk almost every day. So whether it's like Zoom calls or talking on Facebook or whatever it may be, I talk to my brother. So the relationship is good. I was just back there this past summer, well, October, when, but we'll talk about that later. Went and saw the fam, and it was great. It was honestly like I never left. So that hasn't changed. The family dynamics are still good, but it was, I don't know if I want to say rocky, but it was really different at first.
Is there a cultural aspect of Greece that you wish we did more in America?
Yeah. Greeks enjoy the aspect of family and friendship, and we all live and die at the end of the day. We all end up in the same box. So it's like they're advocates of like 4-day work weeks and prioritizing going out with your friends and doing family outings and spending like go out, like have a big meal, like party it up, have a drink. It doesn't matter. Like here, I feel like it's such a You make 80K, I'm going to make 100. You have an 80-inch TV, I need an 82-inch TV. You have a white picket fence that's like 30 feet long, mine's going to be 34. Like, it's such like a competitive thing, and whether we verbalize it or we don't, that's how it is. It's like, how much money are you making? How much money are you making? Are you at my 10x or am I at your like 15x? What's going on? And in Greece, it's like, who gives a shit? Like, literally, hang out with your family, hang out with your friends, like, make connections, go to the beach, like, live your life. We only have one life to live. And here, I feel like it's like work until I can get to a comfortable time where I can retire. But then when you retire and like you're in your 60s, you're like, oh shit, I'm a little too old to go do this, to really truly enjoy that. So we get caught up in this like hamster wheel, I feel like here. And in Greece, it's like, live your life. Live your life. So that's one of the biggest things that I took from like the Greek mentality too, and just try to have as much fun as I can, which might explain what I do for a living too. But yeah.
Did you have something?
Oh, I was just gonna say, literally, that is how are you implementing that into your work life?
I feel like it's translated over, like as Rob said. So I'm a wedding DJ, MC, been doing it for 14 years. God, you were born in 2002.
Seasoned.
Yeah, seasoned.
There's that word again.
I guess. No grays. Still look good. I love the fact that I can employ my personality and outgoing and just try to have as much fun as possible into my work as well. And as far as like day-to-day activities, yeah, I'll go to the gym, or I'll go to spin, or I'll go to...
Pervert. We know why you're at the spin class.
It's a good workout.
Yes. Wink, wink. It's the same reason I used to go to line dance lessons, because you
got to learn how to dance, bro.
Yeah,
that's why.
That's why I went.
There were
obviously,
there were no Daisy Dukes there for you to
what?
check
No,
out.
it had nothing to do with why I showed up. Okay, was it a Target-rich environment? Yeah, kind of.
Just crazy.
But
big Garth Brooks fan, big Shania Twain, big Tim McGraw.
Was it like me and one other straight guy on the dance floor? Maybe, and everyone else was like, 20-something-year-old young women. I don't know. I wasn't keeping track. All right, same with you in spin class.
It's fun.
Allegedly.
It's fun. Allegedly.
Damn
it, we haven't done that enough.
I know, we got to get that word in there.
But no, try to still go to like the gym and play basketball with friends, still join soccer teams, still just try to have as much fun as possible Monday through Friday. And then Saturday, that's supposed to be Friday, Saturdays, Sundays that are supposed to be my busy days. I literally go out and have fun at those too. So on those, I just make sure that other people are having fun too. I'm responsible for other people to be having fun too. So
does that ever get exhausting? Because I feel like being a DJ and like always feeling like you have to have energy would be exhausting, but maybe that's just genuinely who you are.
It's a combination of both. It is genuinely who I am. Like, I enjoy it. I love it. I love being part of people's specials day. There's the Greek. To special mera. No, but I love being part of their special day and ensuring that everything's like going smooth and they're having a good time, because like that's the day they remember for like the rest of their life, right? So like I take a lot of pride in that. It is part of my personality as it is, super outgoing, super talkative, super loud, blah blah blah. It does get the part that I find can get kind of challenging is it doesn't matter what kind of day I'm having personally. Like, it could be something bad could have happened, like a relationship could have ended, a friendship could have ended, or sometimes you just wake up and you're in a shit mood and it doesn't matter. You have to find, or you're sick, it doesn't matter. There's no redos in this game. Like, it doesn't matter what's going on with your day. You have to find a way to just put that shit aside. And I don't want to say put on a mask, but just put it aside for a little bit. Go do your thing, have as much fun as you can. But then, yeah, sometimes, like, say I have like a Friday and a Saturday wedding, there's a lot of traveling too. You're in Whitefish, you're in Bozeman, you're in Kalispell, you're in wherever you may be. You come back to Missoula. There are some Sundays where I just stare at the ceiling and I don't listen to music. I won't watch TV. I just want to just relax and just recenter so Monday can roll around and I can be like right over again. So
how do you find, like, for yourself that you're able to stay positive and still be up? And, because a lot of people in America, I feel like they only want to work when they're motivated. and it's like motivation is fleeting, but discipline is something you can always control. Like, what do you find has worked for yourself, and is it something you've learned over time, or something that's just always been your character? And what do you feel like that looks like for you?
Well, I feel like those two things blend together, right? Because if you don't have discipline, you're not going to have motivation. If you're not motivated, you're not going to be disciplined when it comes to anything. So day-to-day habits end up being your long-term like personality, your long-term who you are. So it's not like the motivation for me is that it's not just me going out there and just like doing something for a few hours and going home that doesn't make an impact. Like, these people are going to remember this day forever. There's going to be pictures, there's going to be videos. I have to be on my A game for them. I have to be on my A game for me too. Cause like, even if you're having a bad day, you go out and you kill it, you do an awesome job. You might get like a good review, or like you might get referrals based off that. It's a very word of mouth like type of business. So I know that my actions on any particular Saturday that I'm booked, say I have like 45 weddings this summer, right? I'm not feeling 100% on like every single one, but I know my actions and the performance that I do could lead to like a ton more bookings or a ton more inquiries, or like the friendships I make, the relationships I build. So there's all the little stacking blocks. It's like you got to remind yourself of that, and then it just adds up to something beautiful.
That's because, yeah, you did Grayson's wedding, right?
Is it bad that I don't remember what year that was?
That was like 3 years ago, I think, or so. Because they've been married for a while, but then they did a wedding because they got married like 2020, and then they did like
the COVID
thing.
Yeah,
where,
that's right.
Because that was the one that was out by Helena, and there was at the venue where they had the bulls with the super long horns. You probably have a million, so I'm sure it gets hard to remember.
Yeah.
But like, even that, I just was thinking about, you're talking about the relationships, because yeah, Grayson walks in and sees you, and it's like, oh my gosh, how are you?
It is literally unbelievable. One of the last weddings I just worked last weekend, there were 8 couples there whose weddings I've all worked.
Wow.
Seasoned.
Seasoned.
Allegedly.
No, not even allegedly.
Seasoned, I guess, man. But it's cool because like you become friends. Some of the closest friends that I have now, I met through the wedding industry. There was a couple, Megan and Jonathan. I worked their wedding last October. You're in communication with them before, and like you kind of get to know them, but you don't know them that well until the day that you meet them. I meet them October at their wedding. I find out Jonathan's a big Rams fan like I am, and he's part Greek as well. I meet him in person in October. We literally went to LA together for a Rams game a month after that. Then we went to Seattle 2 months after that together, shared a hotel room, everything, and went to the NFC Championship game in Seattle. Like, some of the people you meet in this industry have become some of my closest friends, whether it's wedding vendors, whether it's clients. So that I love that.
What do you think for people out there, who, because again, the idea being hopefully that we can share some stuff that also helps people just be a better version of themselves. I don't know if I like saying it that way, because I think like we're always should be, ideally our best version. I don't know, but that's just not the way the world works. Like, sometimes we're doing better, sometimes we're doing worse. I mean, to be as booked as you are, to like go out and really kind of build something up from the ground. I'm sure where you're at now is not where you were a few years ago. I remember when you first started, like, what was that process like, and what made you decide to be like, I believe in myself, I can do this. And then what did you do to kind of build it up to where it's at now? Because you are, man, like, you're doing something that a lot of people I think would be like, man, what a great way to make a living. That looks like an awesome time. How did you kind of build it up to where it's at right now?
Well, I always had a good background in it too. So when I was in college, I was approached to work for a company, and I help like coordinate some weddings, go work some weddings as like a side job. So I was doing it already for about 8 to 9 years before I decided to launch out on my own. So without the backing that I had from the company then, I couldn't just start from an absolute nobody and build it up to what it was. But after many years with the company, you start getting enough like requests like, hey, we want Sam to do it. We want Sam to do it. And eventually you just, have to believe in yourself and know that you can do this on your own too. So big shout out, obviously, to the company I was with. And then you launch out on your own. And I was nervous at first, that's for sure, because I didn't know if people were gonna know Sam as like a solo entity or just Sam
From the other company.
Right. You don't know. So I was kind of thinking like, do I need to look for like another job too? Maybe I can try to book 5 or 6 weddings. I'm trying to do the 6, 7. Josie, I know that's like your generation, but
You've brought it up more than me.
cut it. Cut that shit. But even in my first year, the support I saw from the wedding vendor industry, the referrals I got, the people that hit me up and they're like, this is our photographer, this is our videographer, and we heard that you're out on your own now. You have your own business. Oh my God, we'd love to, this and that. First year alone, I had 30 plus. And I'm like, whoa, like this is cool, you know? And then every year after that, I just try to be the best version of myself, like you said, every day. The motivation, that is the motivation. Try to be as good as you can, for not for yourself, but for all of these people too. And then it's funny how everything just stacks up on top of that. The only thing I try to do is be me. I don't try to be anyone different. That's maybe who I am to the core. Like, I like to be part of groups. I like to make sure everyone's having fun. I like to make sure everyone's happy. And just by being me, I feel like it's led to business success to the point where now I'm looking to hire people and like trying to expand and trying to grow. And that's not anything I could have ever imagined like 4 or 5 years ago.
What's crazy, while you're talking, I just realized this. Bro, you're responsible for all of this right here, right now. And I'll tell you why. Because the way I started working with people in Pinesdale was because me and you were at City Brew and we were having a meeting. And Stella Troop walked in. Yeah. And she's a photographer.
Yeah.
And we were just chatting. And you introduced me to her. And we exchanged cards. And you're like, oh, yeah, Rob's great. He's helping me with some financial stuff. She's like, oh, that'd be great. I'd love to talk to you. And so I connected with her and her husband. And then she referred me to 2 different people who were from Pinesdale. And that led to working with like probably 40 or 50 households. And how I met Josie's dad. And then Josie, met me through her dad as a referral, as a client initially. And so like, it does, like the connections that you end up making and that you're able to make. Like now that I'm like sitting here thinking, like, thank you. Like, holy shit. Like, again, the harder we work, the luckier we get, right? Because
that's how it goes.
We're just in the right place, the right time. Small town Missoula, someone walks in that you know.
That's also crazy because I feel like you don't always see the outcome until years later, right? Because like you're in the moment and you're working and you're trying to be the best version of yourself, but you're not even going to see results from that for 5 years. Was it?
Yeah, it's been longer than that. Sam and I have been working for probably
closer to a decade, right?
Almost 10 years now.
Closer to a decade.
You're both seasoned.
Yeah, I know. We're very seasoned individuals.
Yeah.
These kids, they have no respect. No respect. That's
Back
why we need
in our day.
the Greek accent of no respect, you know?
When we were getting spanked for doing something wrong. Now you can't even spank your child.
Prior to the interweb, you know?
Remember dial-up days?
Oh, man, I remember that.
Can use your phone and shit.
Dude, just meeting someone in a random chat room that you thought was your soulmate.
ASL.
Yeah.
MSN Messenger, nudging and shit.
Yeah.
AOL.
I know what you meant. Yeah.
My email used to be GreekAmericanStud@hotmail.com.
Dude, let's go.
Cool. Yeah.
Greek American Stud.
It's probably still out there.
Accurate. Very accurate. You have a MySpace back in the day?
I did.
Dude.
I did.
That was peak social media time.
MySpace was lit. Yeah. You got your top 8. You remove someone from your top 8 and they're just pissed. And there's drama. So like you change your like background song to like a Fort Minor. Where'd you go? Yeah. I miss you so. And it's like all this like drama.
You're learning how to code. You're learning how to make your background. So
no wonder everyone became a hacker.
Dude.
We learned how to code and like put like MySpace like profiles and like moving shit all over.
Well, think about that, and then I think about things like Napster or like LimeWire, and like we're just downloading all the fucking viruses.
You're giving your computer AIDS.
Yes, herpaganosyphilades on steroids.
Straight up, yeah. You're having unprotected, dirty sex with Napster or LimeWire. You think you're downloading 50 cents in the club, and then you just like turn it up, and it's like someone farting on a microphone for like 4 minutes. And you're like, bro, you don't know what you're downloading because you can't preview it.
Bro.
So you don't know what, like FrostWire, Napster, LimeWire.
Yep, man, that was back in the day. You know, people were making money burning CDs and selling them on the bus.
Oh, dude, back in the day where you're like burning CDs and you have like hot summer mix gangsta shit 2004, and then you make another CD 3 days after, and it's like 15 of the same tracks with like one different one on there.
Yeah, but it's still hot, bro. It's
still hot,
lit, dude.
Super hot.
That was fun though.
Super
man.
hot fire.
I mean, it was. I think that's part of the issue sometimes we see is that today everything is so instant, like it's right there, and so like. Why do I want to go outside and play as a kid when I could just sit here and play video games, or I can, download everything at my fingertips? And I feel like growing up for me, same story, dude. Like we were outside playing sports every day. You know, I was skateboarding every day. I was playing soccer every day, just having fun. And like, I am happy though, because in our neighborhood, it seems like that's the way it is for the kids. The only thing, it's super cool. All the kids are always playing. They're always bouncing around. They don't really play a lot of video games. The only thing now though is these kids got like super cool toys. Like they're out freaking on like little mini dirt bikes. They all have electric bikes where they're just like cruising around.
And those things go fast as hell too. Like it's dangerous.
I saw there were some kids last night that probably were 12 years old that were out like with those little mini dirt bikes doing wheelies in front of my house. I'm like, the heck is this? I had to yell at a kid last week.
Get off my lawn.
Basically, I had to yell at a kid like last week because he had a scooter. And again, we live over like in the Linda Vista area. It's like, it's not a busy street, but it's a through street, so cars are going both ways. And this kid's like swerving back and forth in the street. And like, he's like laughing and he pulls in front of the car in front of me and he's like shaking his butt at it. And this kid's probably like 11 years old, right? And I can't stand when people's kids act up in public. I'm like, if your parents aren't going to discipline you, I'll discipline you.
Hey, okay.
And so like this kid, dude, I'm kind of embarrassed. Not really, but like I throw my car into sport mode. So it's like, like V8, just I pull up and then the kid tries to swerve in front of me and I like pull up so he can't. And he looks at me laughing and I'm like, get to the sidewalk right now, sir. I knife hammed him. I was like, what you're doing is extremely dangerous. If you don't, I'm going to follow you home and I'm going to tell your parents what you're doing. Ooh. And he's like, okay. And
sorry,
then his friend is on the sidewalk. Like, I told you. And I was
dude.
I was like, oh yeah. I just was like full on knife hand. Like, what are you doing? I just hate it, man. I hate when I see kids out and about that are just
also it's like it's probably like the way we were disciplined, like growing up.
Yeah,
you could get away with a lot like more like stern talks, whether you're getting spanked, whether it's like taking this away from you, you can't do this, like you're basically like, this is right, this is wrong. And in this day and age, I just feel like, I don't have kids, look, so I don't know, but in this day and age, I feel like you discipline a certain way like we used to be disciplined back then. Yeah, and that's why like the generation, your generation, it's just like instant gratification. You can't say no to me, I'll throw a fit. And I don't know.
One thing I saw with my daughter, and my wife and I were talking about this, is that my daughter is part of that generation. My ex and I have very different ways of like household raising and stuff like that. So my daughter has a lot more like a lot more leeway than I would give her if she was at my house 100% of the time. Mm-hmm. And so a perfect example is that one of her best friends, she would go over to their house, and this friend of hers lives with her grandmother. And my daughter doesn't really get along super well with her grandmother, but like she'll let her know that she doesn't get along with her in her house. And so like she'll basically kind of talk back and is like, well, and like she'll call her out. And my wife and I were talking about this one time. Is like, this is the difference between our generations. Because there were times I went over to friends' houses where their parents were like, oh, I don't know about that. But I would never say shit. Right. I was like, yes, sir. No, ma'am. Like, whatever. Mm-hmm. I would never be like, oh, you're wrong, Susie. Like, oh, maybe if you got your shit together, John. Like, I would never say some stuff like that. I couldn't even imagine it. And like, my daughters, that's the way they act. And like, I don't agree with it. I'm trying to get that changed. But with my son, it's very much like, who do you think you're talking to right now? He's like, oh, sorry, Dad. And then he acts right, But yeah, kids are freaking.
Well, everything's changed. Like even like youth sports, now it's being treated like it's the professionals. And there's like AAU teams and like all my buddies are going to come together. We're going to do this. They have all the super cool jerseys and the uniforms and like social media and like, and all this stuff. And I just remember I was like, dude, when I was 8 years old, I had like an afro and I looked like a shitbag. I still do. But
you got the hair though now, dude.
I do got the hair now though.
Good.
It's coming in. It's coming in. When are you gonna?
I don't know, man.
You're gonna do a little grease rip with me too.
I might. I mean, I don't really care that I'm bald, but
you pull it off.
It's fine. I just don't care, and I think because I don't care, like no one else does. It's like no one cares that much about me, so I don't really care. But yeah, dude, the sports is a weird one. My jujitsu, the guy who coaches at our jujitsu gym, because I teach the kids, he brought up something that was so important that I've really like integrated into how I'm doing sports with Lincoln and how I teach our classes. He's like, Robert, what's your favorite? Because we're hobbyists, like at our gym. No one is like trying to be an earth shatterer. No one's trying to compete at a world level. We're just hobbyists. We're having fun.
Right.
He's like, well, what's your favorite part about coming to jiu-jitsu? And for me, it's like, I like hanging out with my friends. I like learning something new. I like challenging stuff. And I like listening to good music with my boys. He's like, yeah, well, don't you think that's the kids' favorite part too? I was like, yeah, probably. He's like, so why are we taking that away from them and trying to make them like these great athletes? He's like, if they want to be that down the road, we can help them. But right now they're just kids having fun. Like, let's not take that experience away, because so much of today and the way that sports works is like, it's taking the fun out. Because I think this is my generation, our generation now, the parents is like, we want our kids, everyone wants their kid to be so special and to be like the guy. And
to stand out.
Yeah.
To be
it's like,
different. Yeah.
At the end of the day, sports are fun and they're a great learning opportunity, but the overwhelming majority of people are never going to make a fucking dime playing sports. They're not going to get scholarships. They're not going to do any of that stuff. And like, it shouldn't define who you are. And like, and so I think a lot of our generation though, for whatever reason, we've kind of gotten into that like mentality of like, because we see like we grew up with the Tiger Woods, you know, like Tiger Woods started when he was like so small, but then he's this like ultra athlete. And I think as parents, dads always kind of want that, but it's like, all right, now am I trying to like live my dreams through my son vicariously? It's like,
yeah, dude.
I don't need to do that shit. Let him be his own person and let's figure out what he wants to do, you know? So,
right. And I feel like the overall concept of sports, like sports are so much more like a microcosm of life for me, right? So like you learn how to, whether it's an individual sport or say it's a team sport, you learn how to work with a group of people to accomplish something, right? Which, whether like you're trying to win a basketball game or you're trying to win a soccer game, there's always going to be arguments within teammates or whether it's classmates. Same thing with school. I think school is a microcosm of life too. You just learn how to deal with society / your team. You're trying to accomplish the same thing together. It's one common goal. And now it's just turned into, I just feel like sports, especially youth now, is so flashy and it's look at me and I'm better than this, I'm better than that. I play with one team one year. No, now I'm going to play with another team the next year because I'm trying to advance myself to make it. And as you said, like what? It's like 0.4 or 5% of anyone playing is ever going to make it into the pros or anything like that. Like sports used to be, I mean, not used to be, they still are obviously, but sports are supposed to be fun. You're supposed to have a good time. Obviously, you want to win. You're competitive. I mean, that's how it goes. You're pissed when you lose. You're stoked when you win. But ultimately, it just teaches you how to be in a group and how to like communicate with others, how to resolve disputes with others, how to like overcome all that shit and work together as a team to try to accomplish the goal of winning.
Yeah. And
that's what it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be that, but it's turned into, like we were just saying, something that's very, very different from that. And maybe that's just because everything gets bigger and bigger, whether it's, you know, whatever sporting event that you go to, it's like, how can we make it bigger? How can we make it more of an event? And so I think that,
I mean, look at the NFL, dude.
Dude,
the NFL's opening up with the Rams in Australia. There's games in Brazil. I think there's 7 international games this year. And it's like, it's cool. You're trying to expand the game, but it's like, dude, I've lived in Europe. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, they don't
the
care.
Americans that live overseas or might want to go take a trip there, like soccer is everything there for them. Champions League or like the Bundesliga or like Serie A or whatever it may be. That's their NFL.
Yeah.
That's their NFL. This is just us just trying to do something different and flex on it and just like grow. It's like, dude, they don't care.
The Champions League, it's funny because I grew up and I've watched a ton of soccer. I was very, very into soccer growing up, and it is like, it's funny too because like, and even now, like I don't watch hardly any sports. It's other than jiu-jitsu. I watch a lot of jiu-jitsu.
Right.
But man, I remember just like growing up and thinking like, how are Americans not watching like Champions League?
Right.
Or like it's like
it was insane to me when I moved here too. It was insane to me.
Yeah.
That people didn't give a shit.
But then again, we also like, I don't know. I mean, there's sports here too. Like I grew up in the Kobe Shaq era, you know, and so
don't even get me started on the Lakers, baby. Come on, now. You know I love the Lakers.
But like I grew up in that, and I remember being like in 8th grade, watching them like in the finals and watching them win, and I was living in LA, and it was just, but it was like a pure,
the 3P,
yes,
the 3P,
it was like
Pacers, Nets, Sixers, yeah,
pure love of like this is our city's team, and like I don't know, I just don't feel. I know that there's probably people who would disagree with me, like, oh, it's still like that, but like I don't feel like it's the same. I feel like it's very like transactional, where people, I don't know, people hate him. But like I always had a lot of respect for Tom Brady, knowing that he would give up. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I don't know what that means.
He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Oh.
100%.
I'm just making goat noises, Josie.
Yeah. He is 100% the GOAT. Like, again, people can hate on him. I don't care. But when you look at a guy who's giving up as much of his salary to like surround himself with good people so that they can win, and then you look at the results of what they accomplish, it's like, oh, that's the difference. It's like, okay, like I'd rather make part of something than all of nothing. And like, I think going back to, your story.
Well, Brady also had Giselle, which probably made more money than him too. So, you can definitely.
Dude, he's a beautiful man. Like, come on, man. If
No,
I'm not gay,
I'm not saying. He's
bro,
not.
you want
He's
to
a
talk
good-looking
about
dude.
someone who has like.
Oh, he's on the Kevin Hart roast too.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he
Dude, I
actually
can't wait.
opens it.
Bro,
he actually
his
opens
roast
it.
was funny too.
I know. Well, that's why he shows up at this
He took
one.
it like
he's,
a G,
he's
dude.
like, my turn, motherfucker.
Oh, I like it. Yeah.
it's good.
But again, I've listened to him on interviews too, and listened to him talk, and you listen to him tell his story. And I think that's the thing is like, whatever people are winning at, I'm hoping that people who watch this podcast see that like winning at whatever and at whatever level, like to do what you've done, even with your business, there's a lot of people looking to be like, you're making this much money to do this. You've built it up. And like, yeah, you came from another company, and I know you learned a lot there, and God bless America. Sometimes things go different ways. And I know that company, great people, nothing but love for them as well.
Yep.
And so like, but like, I want people to see like, hey, this doesn't just happen. There's a lot of hard work, and people are so quick to make excuses. And that's one of the things that I'm hoping people see with this is like, if someone met you and saw you doing your job today, they seen like I've been.
Look at you swinging it right back to topic. That was smooth,
dude. It's the
that
weave.
Was so
it's like Trump
smooth,
talks
bro.
about the weave.
Bro,
I want to circle back to sports,
smooth.
but
no, that
like,
was so smooth.
Thank
Damn.
you, sir. Thank you. I'm getting better at this.
Yo, that
podcast
was hella
here.
good.
Thank
That was
you,
hella
thank
good.
you.
Yeah.
But
No
like
doubt.
what I'm seeing with like what you've done, because I've been at multiple weddings that you're the DJ at. It is a fucking blast, dude. Like it's a party. It's like so much fun, and so like, but I think a lot of people think, oh, that just happens. But it's like, well, you don't know. Here's this guy who moved to America, like speaking broken English.
Yes.
To Troy, Montana. Yeah. I'm a Borat. I just ought to think when you say that shit, dude. I like you. I like sex.
Right.
Oh, God. No, now I need to be cut.
Oh,
All right.
boy.
That's what Borat says. I'm quoting a
It's
movie.
nice.
It's very nice,
How much?
My sister.
Number one prostitute in Kazakhstan. Yeah.
It's such a great movie.
It is. It's great.
Oh,
It's great.
but anyways, but like, let's bring it back. We're professionals
Bring
here.
it back.
We're professionals. But yeah, like I think a lot of people, they would never know that part of your story though. That like, hey, man, I came over here. I literally like even just what you're sharing. Like I came to the States not knowing that I was staying in the States. I had a bag packed for 2 weeks.
Right.
I said goodbye to my mom, to my brother, to my entire family. I didn't even need to say goodbye to them. And then I came to America and basically like, let's go. Like you're kind of living the American dream, man. Like when people look at it, it's like you've built a business that's paying you very well. Like you're only growing. You're completely booked out. Like, dude, that's America. Like that's amazing. And so I just hope that people can see at whatever level they're trying to play that there's a lot of hard work that goes into stuff. There's a lot of lessons. There's a lot of failures, And so like, it's just not something that happens. But I think another thing that American culture I don't like about it is America is getting used to striving for the minimum. I think American culture, not all of us, but a lot of people are like very comfortable being very average and ordinary. And you see it in our health. Like I talk about this, I'm sure people hate on me, but like, I think someone's health is a representation of their life. Because like if you are very overweight, if you're consuming too much sugar, you're eating shit all the time, like God bless America. Like you do you. That's fine. That's
also what they push on us though too.
It's very true.
And that's where motivation and discipline have to come in, right? Because when you see like the healthy food costing so much more like there's so many stores, like whether it's like a good food store or any like plant protein, whatever it is, all the healthy stuff becomes so expensive. But then it's like, oh, okay, you go to Taco Bell and get like like something for like $4. It's like, oh, I'm full off that too, but it's a lot cheaper. It's the easy way out, right?
I'm going to push back on that. Hit me. Because so I was just at a conference this week, and in my little room, I had a mini fridge and a microwave. And I could have eaten out and ate shit. I did one day. I ate a whole pizza. It was good. I went to jujitsu and I was like there for like 2 hours. And
You earned it. You earned it, right?
I needed the carbs, all right? But I also bought a rotisserie chicken. I bought some apples, some bananas, and some like basic stuff just to eat in my room.
Simple, yeah.
And I spent like maybe $35 total for, pretty much my entire week or the 4 days I was there. And so like, is it the most healthy organic chicken? No. But is it
It's a good source of protein. You get your fruit in. Yeah.
And that's the thing is like, I think that a lot of times people, whatever they're doing, they're very comfortable. Like, it's like, you're going to suffer one way or the other. Choose the suffering.
Pick a struggle.
Yeah. Pick your struggle.
Yeah,
like a lot of people, it's like, oh, I don't like the way I look or the way I, feel, or I'm not as healthy as I want.
So I'm going to go pound 3 drinks about it to forget my problem. So we're just going to amplify the issue here.
And it's one of those things where it's like, that is its own form of struggle, where it's like, it would be a struggle to not be able to do the things you want to do with your kids, or to be able to be out and about as much as you want to, or to not like the way you look at, and feel about yourself. That is a form of struggle. But I think that's a lot bigger struggle than I'm going to go to the gym, 5-6 days a week. I'm going to eat decent. It's not like I'm killing it. It's like, I'm just going to try a little bit. And I think that if people saw how simple, it's very simple, but it's not easy. If they just saw how simple it is to have a fucking fantastic life, like, it's not that hard to do if you just follow those daily habits. And you were touching on this, like, systematically do things on an ongoing basis.
It's a compound interest thing.
That's exactly it, man.
You do a couple things, it stacks up to 3 or 4, then you're like, wow, I feel better doing this. What if I add a little bit more of this? Then suddenly, slowly but surely, these things just start happening in life, and then you get lucky, right? Like,
harder I work.
It's crazy. It's crazy how luck just shows up. Right?
There's a book I'm listening to right now. A friend of mine who's on our podcast. It's called The War of Art, and it's a fucking phenomenal book. And I'm surprised I've never read it, but it's all about like the muse showing up. And the muse is just an idea of like, you have to have a set of time that you are working on whatever is most important to you. And when you do that consistently, the good ideas show up. It happens, but you have to be there, because you never know when inspiration or that perfect idea is going to strike. And this is something I've been doing pretty well for the most of this year, is carving out time to where it's like, I will only work on this from this point of time to this point of time. And a thing that I'm starting to implement more for myself is that I'm realizing in my line of work, there's always going to be a level of being reactive, because people have issues, and as our team grows, Josie, Grayson, they're starting to take more things. Kristen's starting to take more things off of our plate, on my plate, which has been nice. But it's also something like, there's always going to be more to do than I probably have time to get to. So like, I am carving out just 2 hours in the beginning of my day, that this is where I'm only working on what Robert needs to work on. And what I'm finding is, even if the rest of the day goes to shit, Josie doesn't know how to do her job or how to build a plan.
That's not going to happen.
It does happen.
It does happen.
But it's all right.
Look, hey, I was trying to help.
It does happen, but like, again, I'm giving her a hard time because she's still learning and she's doing fantastic. But it doesn't matter, because like, I got the full 2 hours of like productive work after it. And like, going back to what we were just talking about with like, just like growing and like what you were describing is almost like, okay, these daily habits, they start to compound. I've seen that with you, and maybe you could talk a little bit about that too, because like, from where you were when you started working with me to where you are now, and the way you talk about life, the belief system you have, like, I feel like it's gotten quite a bit, like, I don't know if better is the right word, but you're a much more confident person, I feel like, at least from, maybe you're just faking it better. I don't know.
Maybe. I genuinely have no idea. And it's like, I think your baseline goes up, so where I feel like I haven't changed at all. And I think that's where people struggle too, right? It's like when you're going to the gym and you're like working out and you're eating healthy, you don't see the changes. I mean, you can look back and you probably feel the same that you do a year before, to where you might feel a little bit better, but most of the time when it's the people who are outside of your circle that are seeing the biggest changes, or in your circle too. But when you're so close to a problem, it's hard to see where you're at. So I just feel like I genuinely feel the same. I still have the same wants. I still have the same desires.
I think what I see for you though is that you believe more that you'll have the things you want.
Yeah, and I do think the confidence comes from like doing hard things and being accountable to yourself, to where it's like, oh shit, like I can do this once, I can do it again. I can make $2, I can make $4, 8, 16, and then it's like that's where the confidence comes in. But now it's like now I'm looking at a different 10x, but 2-3 years ago I got asked the question of like 5 years ago, would you be proud of where you are today? Yeah, I do. I genuinely do. And so I'm just excited what the next 5 years is going to look like, because I have no idea, but I know it's going to be like 10x.
Yeah. I am going to go back to something we were talking about. So who's the GOAT in basketball?
We're going to disagree.
I just want to hear what you want to say. I know who I'm going to say.
You're going to say Michael Jordan.
I am going to say Michael Jordan.
You're going to say Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan went 6-0 in the finals, and that's what you're going to say.
There's other things I would say too, but go ahead.
In my opinion, and I am the biggest Kobe guy you could imagine, it is LeBron for me. As a overall basketball player, points, rebounds, assists, defense, we've never seen a more complete basketball player in my life. People are going to dog on the finals record, losing in the finals.
Who would you take to the finals with you? If you were playing the finals, who would you want playing with you?
Like my starting five?
No. You're starting the GOAT. You get one person to be, this is the man leading your team in the finals. Who are you taking?
Kobe. I personally thought Kobe had Michael Jordan's skill set with a little bit extra. It's hard to compare generations, man. Jordan, the people Jordan played with in the 90s, the opponents Kobe had to face in the 2000s versus the gauntlet LeBron's have to go through his career. That's why it's so tough to compare eras. That's why Jordan is the GOAT of the 90s. Kobe owned the 2000s. And you can seriously say LeBron/Curry were like the 2010s. It's just so tough because the rules were different. Teams weren't as stacked as they were. You don't see there weren't as many super teams back then. Like you could say the Bulls had a super team.
You could say the Lakers at a time had a super team.
When the Lakers were Kobe and Shaq, but the Lakers traded for Shaq. Kobe was drafted. I mean, traded on draft night to the Lakers, but it wasn't, you know how like the Heat were formed where it's like Wade, LeBron, and D Wade, and then the Boston forms Pierce, Garnett, and Allen. You didn't see that back then too. So it was a lot different. The competition was different. Jordan, the mentality, such a G on all of our sneakers, Space Jam, iconic, right? But Jordan also grew up in the era of no social media.
That's true.
So anything negative you do in this day and age, even when Kobe, he had the case in Colorado, people still remember that. And that's when social media was just like getting started. You look at LeBron, 20 plus years in the league, there's not a blemish. Married to his high school sweetheart, building schools, donating to charities, doing all these things. But people will find anything like we don't like his politics, or we don't like this, we don't like that. So it's like, you suck.
Those are his opinions, though.
Right.
God bless America.
When Jordan was punching teammates in the face or gambling 24/7 and like partying with college girls when he's like 30 something, no one, whatever. No social. Could you imagine if Twitter existed back then, or if Facebook or Instagram existed back then? Would Michael Jordan be the GOAT if social media existed then?
That's a great point.
It's tough.
Great
like social
point.
media changed everything. Like in Josie's generation, we have access to, okay, I'll stop saying that. But like we have instant access to everything now, dude. Like breaking news, it's on social media before it's even on TV. Yeah. And like and you read people's comments and like, oh, I agree with this guy's opinion. And then you go on a deep dive and now your mentality like, oh, I agree with him. Oh yeah, there's like you formulate all these things. Yeah. Who knows what our opinions would be if Michael Jordan played now? What if LeBron played then? And what if Jordan played now? Who would be the GOAT?
That's a good point. Yeah, the social media aspect of everything is because there's positives without a doubt. There's a lot of negatives.
I mean, it's a double-edged sword, right?
Really
it's just like AI. AI has been. See, I grew up when AI was Allen Iverson.
Yeah,
and those were like the great days. But now
talking about practice.
Talking about practice, man.
Yeah.
Not a game,
dude.
Not a game.
That was viral before viral was a thing, dude. That was
exactly.
I remember because it's funny. We know exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
All you have to say is practice.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Practice. Or like, who was it that was doing sit-ups in the driveway? Was it T.O. that was working out, or like Randy Moss, like straight cash, homie, straight cash? Homie.
I
like
remember that one.
These clips that were just like going viral. But yeah, that, like as you said, that was going viral before viral was a thing. And in this day and age, one negative blemish, LeBron could get caught saying like fuck or something like out in public around the child or something. It's like, oh my God, what a bad role model.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
I think that's kind of, I think that's going away a little bit. I think a lot of people are just tired of that shit.
Right.
Just a lot of people like played that game. And I think a lot of people are just kind of coming more to like, you know what? How about we go back to you do you and what's good for your family, and I'll do me and what's good for my family, and maybe just agree to disagree. I know we're not all the way back, you know, but like I think it's becoming more the norm. But it is something too where your industry is very similar to ours. Like, you know, I'm sure you have people that every walk of life that you're DJing for, and you know, and so it's just finding a way to like for me, I'm like, Robert, mind your own fucking business. Like, it's none of my business what you think. It's none of my business how you vote. It's none of my business your opinions. You're entitled to all of them in America. Now, as soon as those things start encroaching on my beliefs, then okay, now we talk. But like,
Right.
That's even with work. Like, I love the saying. It's like the only color I see is green. I think that's a great saying because like I don't care about any of that other stuff. Can I help you? Can we provide you a great service? Can I make your life better? If so, awesome. God bless capitalism. Hire me. Let's work together, you know?
Right.
And so what is that like? Again, do you see in your industry that do you have people that like kind of bring that up and we're like, oh, we really want to make sure like,
For me, it's like adaptability, man. And I don't know if it's the fact that I grew up in such a big city or like, because like, you know, I'm growing up in Greece. There's Russians, there's Albanians, there's Turks, there's people from all different beliefs, all that. When I moved to Troy, everyone was pretty universal in their
white.
What?
Oh, white.
What? Like whether it's skin color or whether it's politics or whether it is, everyone was pretty like united there. That's kind of what they think. I grew up around so many different types of people with so many different cultural beliefs, political beliefs, religious beliefs that I feel like I can relate to everyone at a certain level. Mm-hmm. So instead of like seeing differences, no matter what they are, and focusing on those, focus on the things that you can relate to and build a relationship with someone. And I do that whether it's in my personal friendships or whether it's people I meet at weddings and events. Find something you can relate to and focus more on that, and like focus more on that positive. It's about like, oh, you believe in this politically, I believe in this politically, or you believe in this deity, or I believe in this God, or whatever it may be. Everyone has differences. I'm sure me and you have differences, me and you have differences, but you find that common baseline and you find the things that you get along with and you agree with, focus on that.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it goes, you know, like.
That's super. I mean, again, I just hope more people do that in America. Were you gonna say something?
No,
I thought you were
Yeah,
like,
everyone is so. It's like you said, man. People are so quick to find the one negative or the one thing they don't agree on, and they formulate their entire opinion of that person based off that. Like, I miss the days where it's like it could be common sense, man. Like you can still be friends with someone if you like agree on this, disagree on this. Now it's like, he's like, dude, you take your coffee like that, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
You suck. You're a piece of shit.
You
dude.
suck.
Yeah, go to hell, bro.
Well, that was like I feel like 2015 and before, you know, prior to Harambe, it all went downhill.
Yeah,
from
Harambe. That was
Harambe
a
started
big,
that shit, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Do you even know?
I don't know what that is.
God.
You don't know who Harambe is?
See, she doesn't even know where all the negativity started,
Bro.
all right?
Nope.
You know when the negativity started is when Kobe died.
Yeah. Was that probably?
Kobe passed away.
Yeah, I remember seeing your
COVID.
social post when he passed. Like I don't see a lot.
I don't know the last time I cried that hard.
Yeah, I
I
remember
don't know the
seeing
last
your
time I cried
social
that hard.
posts on like Facebook or something because like I was like, oh my, that's fucking crazy, you know? And then like out of everything I saw online, like I just remember seeing your post. I was like, oh yeah, that sucks. Sam would be pretty like torn up on that because I knew you were a big Kobe fan. But,
I mean, that was the way, like, all those late nights in Greece, 2, 3, 4 in the morning, watching some like shitty satellite channel that would come in with like the white lines on it, you know, like, because I would stay up late to watch the Lakers. Like I would watch the Kobe Shaq era, right? I'm 13, 14 years old, like learning the language, learning the game. And I just like, Kobe is how I fell in love with basketball. And then, you know, you end up moving in the States because sports were one of my biggest motivators, right? It's like, whoa, now I get to play ball in this gym. Kobe, like that Lakers era, that's what it was for me. Like it was a huge part of me. So now moving here and seeing him pass away while he's on a chopper with his daughter, like such an advocate for like women's sports and continuing to like give back to the game, that absolutely crushed me. And then it reminds you of how like, and it sucks that it takes moments like that to happen to remind you how fragile life is and how like, because we take every day for granted. We all do. We're going to wake up tomorrow morning. We're going to grab our coffee. We're going to sit here. We're going to do this podcast. We're going to go home. We're going to see our friends. We're going to watch this show on TV. And then, you know, tomorrow morning, we're going to wake up. We're going to do the same shit. Like tomorrow, I have a wedding in Phillipsburg that I'm going to drive out to. Like we have all these things. But something as simple as, oh, I'm traveling with my daughter to go to this game. And then in the blink of an eye, your life is over. And something tragic like that happens. It just sucks that it takes these tragedies to happen for us to remind ourselves that this can end at any period of time. So like,
that's what you're talking about is, again, another thing I really hope people learn or just maybe get exposed to. I was at this, like I said, I was at a thing for a conference for my church, and it was, you know, it was about like crisis intervention, just because I'm on the usher team and we're just trying to make sure we have policies in place, because, you know, 99% of people who walk through the doors, great people there to just do nothing but be great. Sure. But we also have a lot of community outreach. So we do a food pantry. Again, 99.9% of the people who show up, nothing but love, wonderful people. But we also have a lot of people who are hooked on like hard drugs. Like they show up to church and sometimes they're fine. Sometimes they're on like super meth, you know, and they're fucking out of their mind, bro.
Super meth?
Yeah, I stole
are there levels of meth?
Well, I stole that from
like
Spencer Pratt. Spencer Pratt. He calls it super meth, and so
it's
now,
like you're a little methed up.
No.
It's like you're a super meth.
He says when he's talking, his social media, by the way, is phenomenal. Spencer Pratt, yeah. And he's running for mayor right now, and he's just trolling the other side of like in politics, and just it's funny. Go check him out. It's good stuff. So he calls it super meth, but like, so we're just trying to have policies in place. But like, why I bring all that up is that at the event I was at, just really like nice, kind people, but it also kind of highlighted like just when they're talking about their interactions, because a lot of these people work at different, like mental institutions. And I mean that like literally, like there's institutions where people are being, you know, held against their will because of a court order, or you're seeing people who work in like super, like just not great schools where they're dealing with kids who are on a regular basis, who are hitting teachers, who are biting, who are doing all these things. And it's just like you see people where they go down this path of like thinking, oh, my life is always going to be like this, and so I'm going to act out, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, versus just realizing like, bro, the whole world is right here in front of you. And what you were talking about too is like, why are we wasting our life on bullshit? Like, why are we wasting our lives on things that don't matter, when it's like just the fact that we are here and you're alive, and you think about how unlikely just the chances of you being you are. Like, you're just that one little swimmer who made it, you know, like out of all the swimmers that your dad let fly,
you were there. Swimming.
Right. And so like, but again, it's like, it's one of those things where you're just, it's such a blessing. And I think the military really helped me understand how quickly life changes and how it's not a guarantee. And I hope people realize that, because, you know, hopefully they hug their wives, hug their kids.
It's tough though, because like we always do the same thing, right? Like something awful happens, and then it's like, oh my God, let's step back and think about it for a second. Thoughts and prayers, and then a couple days after that, you're back in your normal routine. It's like nothing ever happened, and then it just takes a big tragedy to happen again to us to take a step back. But
do you think nothing ever happens? Because
we get caught in this hamster wheel, man, because like our lives are so busy. We're doing the same shit. We're doing this, we're doing that. I just feel like we do like that very little brief period of, oh my God, yeah, I need to be better about this. But we, like, for the most part, we don't intentionally change to like be better at it.
I can see what you're saying. I don't know. I think maybe this is
as a whole.
As a whole,
as society. I'm not talking like you
individual,
specifically.
You specifically.
You. Sorry.
Damn, dude. Do you know Soulja Boy?
Yeah.
Do you? She doesn't know Soulja Boy.
You don't know the Soulja Boy dance.
Oh my God.
You don't know Crank That?
Dude,
Crank That by Soulja Boy?
I know Crank That.
I feel like we were very...
I had a friend that just went to one of his concerts.
Soulja Boy still does concerts.
I don't know. I think she might be confused.
No, I'm not confused.
She's like, have you heard of that Little Wayne artist?
The Little Wayne.
Little Wayne.
Yeah.
Excuse my charisma. Vodka with a spritzer.
Dude, Little Wayne, man. I listen to his stuff all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Wheezy's,
fire.
dude, Wheezy's still in the rotation 24/7.
I feel like
Come on,
2000s and 2010s, like hip hop rap. Like I saw something on Instagram, I don't know, a week or two ago where Nelly was talking and he's like,
He grew up in the hardest generation.
Yes, you
of
saw
rap
that too?
ever. Yeah,
I was like, and then he started listing who, I was like,
yeah, dude.
bro.
I mean, it was M, it was Nelly, it was DMX,
Yes.
it was Fitty,
Jay-Z,
like,
Ludacris.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
every like buddy that people are still like, oh man, that was fire.
Dude, and it was still hip hop that sure it was made for a lot of it was made for clubs, a lot of it was made for radio play and all that, but the wordplay in it was unbelievable because like M can spit out a bar that can mean 3 different things in one, and you don't catch it. You got to rewind it to like get it back. And now you listen to hip hop these days, and it's all like auto tune humming, and I put on my gun and I kill on this bitch, and it's like, dude, shut the fuck up,
dude. Have you what really brought it out for me? Like gave me a much greater appreciation for the lyrics is all the AI remakes where they like slow it down and they're like doing like 50 Cent where he's like, I don't know, like Mini Men, like the AI version. And it's just like, oh my God.
Right.
Like this is like deep soul wrenching shit you're talking about. And so
it's funny, like you change the beat and you put it behind like a different type of melody and you're just like,
dude. But the thing also, like I still listen to a lot of Pac, and like, so you go back and you listen to what he's talking about on like his song, like Shed So Many Tears. Like, dude, you're like, bro, like you're hitting hard. And then,
or like Brenda's Got a Baby.
yes.
Or like songs like that.
Yeah.
Or like, I know, and like Pac was all like, you know, California Love. That would get like all yeah, like all that would get like the super like radio play and stuff.
Yeah.
But Pac was like a revolutionary
He was also gay.
back then too. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first.
He was 100% gay.
Is he still alive?
No, he's not alive. He got
Is
shot.
he alive?
He gone. He gone.
He gone.
I don't care that he was gay. I just
go.
think it's one of those things that you
Pac's
don't.
gay?
Dude, are you serious right now?
Pac's gay?
Bro, all right. After this, we're gonna pull up. If you guys don't believe me, just YouTube.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
I'm not. Maybe he was bi. Okay, I think he liked girls too. He definitely liked boys. All right. You just have to just YouTube it, guys. YouTube it. It's very. Think about it. All right. Here's a kid who
I
grew
thought
up.
we're doing it after this.
No, we're going to do it after this, but we're talking about it now.
Hey, yo.
So think
Pause.
about it. He was a theater kid who grew up doing like plays and like wanted to go to Juilliard and all that kind of stuff. And
Time out. Do you know who Tupac is?
I know who he is. I don't know that much.
That's all. It's okay. We'll circle
Sorry.
back.
I recognize the name. That's literally it.
Okay.
That's okay.
I definitely don't know his sexual orientation.
Yeah, well, I just found
And
out
again,
too.
God bless America. I don't care.
Right.
I don't care. I
Right.
just think that it's one of those things where we were talking earlier about like social media was around.
Sure.
We would know a lot more.
Right.
And there's enough video evidence out there. I promise you what I'm going to show you after this, you're going to be like, oh man, because it kind of ruined it for me a little bit at first because I realized like he was playing a part, but then I also am like, you know what? I don't know if he was playing a part so much as like he was a confused young man who grew up in the not best environment and he was trying to make the most out of an opportunity. I think he really was the person he was trying to be, but I just think that he wasn't a gangster growing up. I think he tried to turn into a gangster and then, tried to live that gangster life and got shot because of it. So, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk later.
He had some good stuff,
We'll see some stuff later.
Yeah. I don't know. That goes back to a GOAT conversation there. I mean,
GOAT like
rapper.
it depends on.
Dude, there's so many different styles.
It truly depends on like what you value the most. Like when it comes to hip hop, for me, sure, like the beat matters and the flow.
If you had one person you could only listen to,
it's M.
It's M.
It's M.
Okay.
I mean, for me, like it's the word. I like hip hop, or I gotta rewind it like 2-3 times to catch every single bar. It's like I like creativity in lyrics. I like I don't know why I just thought of like even Wayne. Even Wayne was good at that because like Wayne's metaphors were always like amazing, right?
Yeah.
Like Real G's moving silence like lasagna, and that was even on like a popular song that was like
Lasagna,
yeah.
Dude, that's a great
like
song.
they're just like
yeah.
I mean, there's just like I could bring up a million Eminem bars.
You know
right now,
who's
but I'm
got
not
some
going to.
great okay, so on bars that are really good that people don't listen to as much, is a Christian rapper. His name is Andy Mineo. This guy is fire. Like there's some really
like
good
hellfire.
Like bringing the wrath of God fire. Like his lyrics are awesome. There's some really good Christian rappers, and I know because like one I try to listen. I mean, like I said, obviously at our church, and then at our gym, like I have music that I want to play for the kids where they're like pumped up, and so I put on like Christian rap. You know, there's a lot of great Christian rap out there, dude. I did not know there's some really good Christian rap. As someone who grew up to listen to Pac, listen to Biggie, and all these guys were inspired by those types of things, and they'll talk about it. It's just they're like having a more positive message, you know.
Sure.
Another guy that's really good that no one talks about is Connor Price. You ever listen to any of his stuff? Dude, listen to Connor Price. He is like this little white Canadian dude, but man,
I like hockey. I like beer.
No, it's not that at all. Just listen to him. He's got some good stuff, and it's the same thing where like what he says means multiple things.
I love that.
I love it.
I
dude.
love that.
It's pretty cool. So,
Josie, who are your favorite rappers right now? Do you listen to hip hop?
Who do you listen to?
You listen to hip hop? Drake just dropped three new albums last night. I listened to Iceman yesterday, but I still got that. 3 new albums last night, dropped at midnight.
What kind of music do you even listen to, Josie?
Oh God.
I mean, I listen to everything. I have some Sway Lee. Isn't
Okay.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I got
say you're going to the gym and you're working out. What's playing?
I don't want to say on the podcast.
Why not?
Why?
Because it's really like inappropriate music.
I mean,
So
that's what we listen
talking
to.
about the whole
What the
time?
hell do you think we're talking about?
I don't know.
We're talking about gangster rap. Like,
Yeah, we're like, it's just so funny, right? Because like, say you're driving to work, you're going to like your nice office, you're making good money, you're driving your nice car, going down the street 25 miles per hour, the sunshine is out, the trees are around, the birds are singing, and you're just in your car, just like rapping along the lyrics.
first off,
In the click you claim, West Side when you're riding, come quit we
Yes,
game.
yeah.
And you're like, listen, or like Many Men by 50 Cent, right? Because he got hit like I got hit, but he ain't fucking breathing, right? And you're just like, and like for me, it's like high school, right? It's like, okay, now I'm gonna get out of my vehicle. It's snowing outside. I'm in this small community town in Montana. Lyrics, it's like, I don't relate to this at all, but this is just a banger.
dude, I thought I was. We're gonna come back to Josie. Think about
No,
your music.
yeah,
'cause, like,
I'm
I
still
want to
thinking
know.
about it. Yeah.
But, like,
Yeah, right. How about you write it down?
I don't feel like I know like a ton. Like
Well, it's not even like you're at the gym. What genre are you listening to? Are you listening to rock? Are you listening to country? Are you listening to the rap? Like, or you're on a long drive.
Like hip hop rap is good at the gym.
Yeah.
Totally.
So like 2010s and up or 2020s. Like who are some of the artists that are in your rotation that you're like, yeah, this is a bop? Like, is it like the Baby?
Right,
is it
come back to
Kendrick?
me,
Is
'cause
it
I
Drake?
can't, like-
Is it?
I have some Drake. I have some Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Jesus. Ray Zimmerman, or wait, was it Ray?
You're close.
So close.
You're close. You're close.
Sway Lee. What's the other guy that I can't think, but I have a lot of his songs.
No,
Can't think of his
he must be
name.
great if you can't think
So
of him.
good.
Yeah.
Genuinely so good.
Yeah.
No, don't ask me hard questions.
Hard questions. I asked what you listen to at the gym.
What music do you listen to? Hard question.
Don't ask
Why are you
me
putting me
that.
on the spot?
Ask me that.
Yeah, but this
Sam,
thing is
tell me
like,
your life story. How difficult was it to say bye to your mom? I don't know what I listened to. Come on now.
oh, that's so great.
Come on now.
Dude, yeah, it's. But what I think about too with music, because I don't know how it was for you growing up.
Yeah.
My mom, like, because I grew up in LA. I listened to like Pac. I listened to Biggie. I listened
Yeah, it was like-
Wu
it was
Tang.
like
I
Ice
was listening
Cube.
to all the stuff,
it's
just
a lot-
the
yeah.
stuff that we grew up listening
Yeah.
to. And my mom was convinced because it was like rap that I was gonna turn into this shitty person,
Bro.
and it was gonna ruin my life. And I used to have to like hide the CDs I had, and like
Yup.
I would hide them behind picture frames and stuff. And my mom, I'll never forget, she found like my stash of CDs, bro. And fucking like my Crazy Bone CD, all my Pocs, like my Ambitions as a Rider, and she broke them in front of me. And I was just like,
She was like, I won't
first
deny
off,
it.
no,
Jesus. She's like, you don't want to fuck with me. And she snaps her CD.
I just remember being like, are you serious? And they're like, because again,
Devil's music? Was there anything like that?
dude, it was
Was it like, this is the devil's music?
it was one of those things where she just thought it was going to like corrupt me into being something I wasn't. And it's really kind of a weird thing that happened. Like my dad growing up, my mom and dad are separated. I have a great relationship with my dad, great relationship with my stepdad. Everyone got along. Like that was the thing I really appreciated. But my dad was pretty much like very similar to the way that I've raised my son right now. Lincoln's like, this is a fucking man's world. Like, it's not a boy's world, it's a man's world. So I'm going to treat you like a man. You're still my son, but like, you better fucking sack up. That was his approach to life, you know? Mm-hmm. And so he would let me listen to whatever. And we would just be cruising around and we'd listen to music. And we'd
cruising down the street in my 6'4".
Yes. And so like, we would just be having fun and listening to stuff. And then, but like the girl that he dated for like 5 years or so, her son was the same age as me. His name's Mariano. And Mariano and I were like fucking two peas in a pod. All right. Mm-hmm. And we pretty much grew up together. And then when we got to be around 13 years old, Mariano started to zig while I started to zag.
Sure.
Mariano's dad.
Which is life.
Yeah. Well, no, that was the way he did it. It was not great.
Oh,
Mariano's dad like grew up like very like, wanted to live like that cholo gangster type thing,
Gotcha.
and trying to get involved in that shit. And he really wanted to be about that life. Okay. Started getting caught up in gangs and all this stuff. And like, meanwhile, I was like a straight A student. I went to a Christian school. I was very much like, I didn't drink. I didn't have sex until I was out of high school. I didn't do any of that stuff. I was like, I'm going to do things right because I was convinced like if I make good choices, my life is going to be good. I wanted to go to college. I did all that stuff. And so Mariano got caught up in like some shit later on in his life where he ended up getting convicted of murdering a dude.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He's fucking doing like 25 to life right now. And so it was one of those things that like I remember like I remember when we were 13 and we came down from Vegas. My dad lived in Vegas. I grew up in Southern California, but we all as like me, Mariano, his mom's name is Renee, and then my dad, we went down to Vegas and we're just staying on the beach. We were surfing. And so like we got like henna tattoos that said like Thug Life, just thinking we were cool.
Like the Pac one.
Yes. Yeah. And so my mom was just convinced that like it was going to like ruin my life and I was going to become this horrible person. Mm-hmm. And I just now like I cruise around with Lincoln, and again, you're talking about driving, like having a nice car, making some money. I'm at that spot that I dreamed about being at. Like one day I'm gonna have a fucking badass car,
that's crazy.
And I'm gonna be like cruising around. I'll be able to listen to music, and like I don't turn it up so loud where it's like annoyingly stupid. Right. But like I think about back in the days when I had like a Ford Escort, and I had like a
like when you turn the bass up a little bit.
Bro, I had like a freaking. This was back in like 2004. I had like a $2,000 sound system in a Ford Escort, like this huge 12-inch woofer. Like I had the whole thing with like the stuff so your shit didn't rattle as much. Mm-hmm. So like, bro, you would have thought like there was this like badass car. No, it was me and my little Ford Escort, right?
Yep.
But now it's like I cruise around with my son and I'll be like, bro, he like, can we roll the windows down? Because we'll just have music. And I was like, listen to whatever we want to listen to. It's like, dude, you're going to be fine. It's like, yeah, they're saying, it was like, what the bad words are. Don't say those, all right? But it is funny because like I've seen Lincoln where like he'll talk about stuff and like he'll say things that like his friends will say, and like his friends are like 8 and they're trying to like mess around with swear words every now and then. He's like, yeah, Dad. And then he said SHIT and he's like laughing about it. He'll like spell it out. I'm like, oh my God, dude. Oh, great. So, but yeah,
that's funny, man. Like you literally just reminded me too because me growing up overseas listening to some American music. Like I remember when like Eminem dropped the Eminem Show. I think it was
great album.
I think it was like 2002.
Or somewhere out there. I think I was like a junior,
14, 15 years old.
Yeah.
And there was a song on there called "Cleaning Out My Closet," which I'm sure. Oh, there you go. Okay.
I know some Eminem.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
My mom was convinced that me listening to that song, and that was a day like
Isn't that one about his mom?
Yeah. So it was basically like, have you ever been hated or discriminated against? I have. Like the whole song. My mom, because in the music video for it too, M's like digging a hole. My mom was convinced, she's like, you're going to kill me. You listen to this devil music, and I see Eminem do this in the album cover and all that. You want to kill me? This is devil music. Don't you listen to this, and you're going to do this? You're going to be a terrible person. Blah blah blah. I'm just like, Mom, holy fuck, bro, no, that's not what I'm doing. So yeah, my mom was convinced too. My grandma, oh god, if I listened to any hip hop, anything that wasn't classic like Greek music, I'm the worst.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting how that is just something that it was. I don't know. I feel like maybe this is every generation has it where they like look back at the music before and like, it's garbage and this and that. But like,
oh, dude, we do it. Like,
yeah,
I mean, our families, right? When we were young, they're listening to like still like Def Leppard and AC/DC and Kiss and the Beach Boys. And I always remember telling my dad, I was like, dude, God, that was 20, 30 years ago. Like, let's listen to something current. Because like me, 2000s, I like put on something. Can I listen to Luda? Can I listen to M? Can I listen to Jada Kiss? Like, can I listen to like Ja Rule? I won't admit that again. But, or like, that was like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and Britney and Christina. Like all this shit's going on. And my dad's still jamming to all that shit. And now it's 2026. And like my workout playlist, it's like the entire, like it's Eminem from the 2000s. Yeah. It's still
fire though.
Yeah.
I've heard these songs a million times.
Like, that's what we love. Cause like, cause now I look at like the current hip hop and I'm like, there's a few Kendricks I like that I still like. Like I like Kendrick. I like J. Cole. I like a lot of
J. Cole's good.
Like I
See, I know stuff. I just can't name it. Don Toliver's good.
There you go. Yeah, like I like some of his shit. I like a lot of Drake shit, and like there's some, but as a whole, I look at it now. I'm like, this shit sucks compared to what we had, and now it's like, oh my god, I'm doing the same shit my parents did back then.
I like there's a guy who is called I think it's DJ Discretion, and he does like the mashups of like old rap and new rap. So he'll mix like Kendrick with Biggie or something, and it's like, bro, that's pretty legit. So there's stuff like that I really like. But yeah, it's just funny how with music, that's kind of just the way it always goes. Because like, but then at the same time, like we all know as soon as someone hears like the whole wedding's like, let's go.
Well, dude, yeah, like even like that stuff still bangs at weddings. Like Apple Bottom Jeans, by Usher, Get Low. Like these are all classics. I can't think of a song that's come out in the last 2 years. Well, besides Pink Pony Club, that was 2024. That
one's not good.
But dude, at weddings though,
really,
it pops every time.
Dude, like, we played that a lot at jiu-jitsu for a while just because it's kind of gay. Yeah, it's like you're rolling around with a bunch of dudes and just fucking pink.
I know.
Just Pink Pony Club's going on in the background, and you just see like I could just see my coach like dancing when he's like strangling someone with that, you know? Jesus. Yeah, it's just kind of weird.
The motions you were doing looks like it was like
I could see him. I could see him smiling at me because he literally put the song on and he was like looking at me while I did it. I was like, it's a little too intimate, bro. A little too intimate.
You're just bricked up over there. Yeah.
Oh, man. It gets a little jiu-jitsu without music, dude, is pretty gay. Like and hey guys, this is 2026. Cancel me for saying gay if you want to. All right, we're bringing it back. I love you guys,
Josie.
But
I'm not trying to get canceled.
Josie.
All right, I don't care. Josie. All right, just don't listen to the podcast if you don't like it. Okay.
Gay like happy.
Yeah, fine.
Like,
that's
gay
what
like
we'll
happy.
go with.
You know?
Again, guys, they're words. It's just like, grow up. Who cares? I don't care. All right. So, but the world does. So sorry if I offended you. But jiu-jitsu without music, it's a little sus. I'm not going to lie, because it's just a bunch of sweaty dudes rolling around on the ground with each other, doing moves like that are called mother's milk, where they're like literally trying to strangle you by like putting their chest up against you like that. And then if you really want to be mean,
not the titty meat up there.
Yeah. If you really want to be mean, there's a move called father's milk. It's exactly what you think it is.
Yeah. Oh my God, you guys.
So yeah, it's this is kind of the way it goes in jiu-jitsu. So you have to have music on in the background, otherwise it gets a little.
They're listening to like Sports Guard by Tate McRae and just like getting over it. You know?
This is manly. Come mount me.
Yeah. That's actually something I've said to a man before.
Clip 100%. That part. Right. The only part I want you to clip.
Just put it
all I want.
Josie,
Josie, that's manly. Come mount me.
Oh my God.
Dude, that's going to be ASMR for so many dudes in the DMs right now, dude.
God.
Bro, clip that.
You want to talk about the most viral clip we're going to get?
Clip that.
Oh, thank you, Josie.
Yeah, that's the
that's
intro,
what we're looking for. And we got it. And we got it.
The intro to the podcast is, that's manly. Come mount me. Let's go, Josie.
Oh, Josie, you did it.
Let's go,
you did it.
Myself.
Oh my goodness. So
Josie's favorite hip hop artist.
Yeah, that was a fun little rabbit hole. I don't know.
That was good.
You should come do some jiu-jitsu. You'd probably like it.
It'd be fun. I mean, rolling around with sweaty men sounds great. You
It's
know?
actually
I mean,
a
I
lot-
watch professional wrestling, so like,
Bro,
that
think
might
about
be a
it
thing,
like
you know?
it's fun because
I went to WrestleMania. Come on.
it's-
I think it's
fun.
weird that people think you're gay for going to spin class, but like, jiu-jitsu is way gayer.
Oh, 100%. 100% way gayer. 110%. Like, it is one of those things where, like, when you really stop and think about it, like, all of my if we pulled up my Instagram chat with my, like, 3 best jiu-jitsu buddies, it's us basically calling each other gay the whole time. And just, like sending jiu-jitsu memes and reels about, like, yeah, we're rolling around in spandex with our best guy friends, and we wonder why our wives are like, what are you doing over there? You know, it's like... You know, but it is a fun time. I don't know. It's
I mean, a
of
lot
fun.
of Greco-Roman elements
Yeah.
in that back when everyone was gay, you know, like, yeah. So like, I don't know.
It's one of those things too, where it's just like at the end of the day, you're still trying to like strangle your friends. Like you are like, it is one of those things you're trying to like hurt your friends, but then it stops as soon as you want it to stop. But like I've had it where like you literally get put to sleep, like where you wake up and you're looking up and everyone's looking at you and they're shaking your legs.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, did I go out? They're like, yep, you were snoring. Like, dang it. I went
Damn,
out.
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, you're really convincing me to want to try this.
It's a lot of fun. It's
Yeah,
a really
looks
good
like it.
time. You
Yeah,
should come
yeah.
give it a shot, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things that it's definitely not for everyone, but neither is golf or basketball or whatever, you know? So,
Right. Golf is the one I'm trying to get into right now.
Are you?
Yeah, dude. I mean,
Golf's fun.
I've never played
You
a round of
golf?
golf.
Yeah, I like
Never
golf.
once.
Yeah. How often do you go?
Not often enough. It's expensive.
Dude, yeah.
I'm poor in this economy.
So, dude, golf is absurd. Isn't it like $150 to go like 9 or 18 or whatever?
Yeah, I'm not good at it. My golf is more like croquet, but I like it. I like it a lot.
We need a mini golf course here. That would be a lot more fun.
You think? I don't know if I like putting as much. I just like getting outside and like getting on the green.
That's fair. I guess I was more so thinking of like it'd be a good thing just like go have a beer or like a date or something and just like go like 9 or 18, something fun like that.
I wish we had batting cages again. They got rid of all the batting cages.
No, there's actually DBAT now.
Where's that?
DBAT Missoula. It's on Kensington, I think.
Dude,
they have batting cages there.
D-bat?
DBAT, like yeah. Like,
Dude, I'm for sure going to check. I
Yeah,
love
check
going to
it out.
batting
It's
cages.
dope.
Thanks. I'm really glad. 'cause
yeah, it's dope. It's dope.
This whole time I've been like, oh, there's no batting cages. That's a thing of the past, you know? So, but, so as far as, I don't even know where we go from here, man. I mean, I feel like this has been all over the place. We still have yet to hear what
Right.
Josie's favorite, artists are, but
We're doing this right now.
that's a hard question, allegedly.
Rap is good. Gym music is good. We like it all. I
feel like she just
everything,
answered our question.
But I feel like I don't listen to like one specific person.
So I did want to ask you because you did talk a little bit about work, and then obviously with coming over here, one thing I wrote down that I don't think you ever answered. So did you have dual citizenship?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how you were able to just come and stay and.
Yeah. I mean, I was born here.
Oh.
Yeah, I was born in Libby, Montana.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I was born in Libby. I went to Greece when I was 2, and I came back when I was 17. So
That makes way more
so
sense.
I do have dual citizenship, which is awesome. It's also slightly obnoxious because I still get because in Greece you have to join the military once you turn 18. There is no.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, Greece is one of the few countries in the EU that you're still required to. So I still get hit up by the military every year or every other year because I can keep doing it until I'm 43 years old. And they're just like, come serve for a year. You have to serve for a year. And then I always have to show them like my last 7 years of taxes or utility bills or any payments I've made to show that you have continuously lived in the States for the past 7 years. They'll ask for like absurd shit. They're like, let's see your Northwestern energy bill from October 2019. And it's like, God, dude, because then you got to go find that and all that. But anyway, that was totally off topic. But yes, dual citizenship for me, yes.
Well, I think because I feel like I remember you talking a couple years ago about like actually being worried about that or having to go back.
I was, because I went, because the Greek embassy in San Francisco, if you're listening to it, you suck. They take forever to get back to you with any emails or anything. So I sent them all this paperwork and I needed them to send me a piece of paper because they're like, if you go back to Greece, they're going to stop you and they're going to make you go to the army. They're like, you need to have this paper. I was like, okay. So I was scared. It's like, I can't go see my mom because like the army's going to take me. So I sent all the paperwork with like 3-4 months in advance. They didn't send me a paper. The morning of comes that I'm supposed to fly. And I literally panic called them. I've been trying to call them for a week. I panic called them. They answer. They're like, what? I'm like, my paper. They're like, oh, okay, here, I'll email it to you. And they email me this paper, and I have the paper. I land in Greece. Literally, I got the paper printed 10 minutes before I left for the airport. I land in Greece. I land there. I show the passport. I'm scared shitless. I'm like, I have this paper ready to show. They're like, okay, good. I did all that work for no reason at all. So that was fun.
So like with that, then do they don't want, then you don't have to go back though, because you're able to consistently prove it.
Right. Yeah. Cause I mean, I live in the States now. I'm not going to take a year and a half out of my life and put my career on hold. Cause I mean, I can't afford to do that. I can't just stop who I am, like me, my life, my career, my online presence, whatever it may be like, BRB, gonna go to Greece and surf for a year and a half. Because then when I come back, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
Who the hell am I?
Because your brand is your name.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, I'd fully turn, I'd go from not being Sam anymore to, well, my real name is Satirius. I feel like, you know that. So like, I have to go back to being Satirios Georgios Dasios for a year, instead of being Sam Dasios, wedding DJ Dasios, all that. So it'd be different.
When I was in the Army, we would joke about like your slave name, you know? Because,
Jesus.
Can you say that? I don't know.
Jesus.
Is that too much?
Maybe.
Jesus.
I'm scared.
I don't know if you could say that. All right.
I don't know why that just reminded me of like, find out your stripper name. What is the street you grew
No,
up
it's
on?
way worse.
And combine
I guess maybe
Yeah,
just
you're
my-
right. You're right.
Yeah, I guess for me, I'm just like, all right, these are the things we would talk about when I was in the Army. It's like, because like, again, when I was in the Army, my last name is Ellington Montez.
Right? Yeah.
So it's a hyphenated last name. Well, when I got into the Army, they printed my name tapes and it just said Ellington. And so I went to the drill sergeant. I was like, oh, drill sergeant, you know, it's supposed to be Montez. It's supposed to be Montez on my name tape. And this guy is, I'll never forget him. His name is Drill Sergeant Damiani. He goes, and he had this thick Dominican accent. He goes, I guess you're Ellington now. And I was like,
damn.
Okay. And so like everybody, and so I was like, well, when I get to my next station, I'll just change it and go by Montez. But everywhere I went, I always had people who knew me. They went there as well. And so they all knew me as Ellington. And so I just never changed it. And so like everyone just called me Ellington while I was in the Army. And so like that was the joke. And like then we would talk, like now I have my friends who, when the Army, everything is on a last name basis. It's very rare that you talk like
Montez.
Yeah. And so, but it was always Ellington, or like my buddy Julian, it's Harrison, or whatever. My buddy Savelli, it's Yusufov, or we'd call him Ubob. And so like everyone just be like, if you're talking to someone after you're out of the Army and you like, oh, what's up, Harrison? You're like, dude, don't use my slave name. Like, it's Julian, you know? Like, so it's like a joke, you know? So it's like, because the Army like owned everything about you. I was like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. So yeah, that was what I was saying. Maybe.
That was a point he was trying to get at.
Yeah,
you thought this was going
this
somewhere
one might be a little off the rails.
Yeah.
I feel like all of us might have had
going somewhere
something
completely different.
Yeah. So, wow. Oh, man, this one is, it's.
I'm not shocked. I'm not
really shocked either. And at the end of the day,
there's going to be a lot of editing here, but you know.
You know what? There's not.
I don't condone anything.
Yeah.
I don't condone anything.
Listen, guys.
My name is Josie, and I do not approve the message related on this podcast.
Yeah, we're going to do this one where it's just going to be very separate from business. This is just going to be an episode of some random people just talking, you know?
Right.
But at the end of the day, too, though, I know we say things that people are going to be like, someone's going to be offended. And I think of...
that can be anything.
And that's what I was going to say. Is like, I remember... So something I learned, there's a guy named Gordon Ryan who is, when we talk about the GOAT, this guy is the GOAT in jiu-jitsu, 100%. And he was talking about George St. Pierre, the fighter, GSP. Yeah. Who is arguably the GOAT in MMA, like one of. And so Gordon was talking about... They're really
on the Mount Rushmore for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And Gordon was talking about on a podcast that GSP and him are really great friends. He's like, dude, if you ever met George St. Pierre, he is genuinely one of the nicest people you will ever meet. And he's like, and then he posted something where he was like just talking about something. And he's like, and I saw this, and then I looked at the comments, and 80% of the comments were negative and basically telling him to kill himself and this and that. And like, and so he's like, and Gordon Ryan was like, so I realized then is like, if people are going to hate on George, who is one of the nicest human beings in the world this much,
they'll hate
for
on
him
anyone.
just trying to do this, he's like, they're going to hate on everybody no matter what we do. So he's like, so it was very liberating for me because, and this is Gordon talking, he's like, it's just liberating because I realized no matter what I did, everyone's going to hate on me. So I was like, I just decided to lean into it. And so I'm not like trying to offend people, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Maybe that's the problem is everyone's so damn offended about every little thing. It's like, you know what? Just people can be people. People can talk about things. People can joke, and that's okay, you know. But
well, that brings us back to the conversation before. Remember what comedy used to be like?
Oh, I know.
Like 90s, like Eddie Murphy stand up, or like the Chappelle Show in this day and age. Chappelle Show. Yeah. Like certain words being said and people understanding like this isn't meant to be offensive. Like you're saying this like as a joke. We don't actually think that about this person.
Yeah.
But now it's like it just would not fly.
Chappelle Show
it would not fly in this day and age.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, we could reference so many skits from that. Like we could.
I've already done enough. I feel like I've used up all my cancellation points today.
I don't even know what that is.
The Chappelle Show.
The Chappelle Show.
Damn, dude, we are getting old,
bro. We old.
We are old. Damn. Ouch! That one hurts a little. Like the Chappelle.
Do you know who Dave Chappelle is? Like the comedian. Do you know who Eddie Murphy is?
I know who Eddie Murphy is.
Okay, so you know Eddie Murphy probably from like the movies. Well, he used to do a lot of stand-up too. Well, Dave Chappelle is a stand-up comedian that also had a show called The Chappelle Show, in which he would have a lot of various skits, like it's this family, or it's...
Be careful.
Yeah, I said it's this family, or it's like there's the racial draft, or there's the Lil Jon skits he would do, and
God, those are so good.
Yeah, and the words he would use are obviously not words.
Charlie Murphy.
Yeah, there you go. The Charlie Murphy ones, like
the one with Rick James.
I'm Rick James, bitch.
Yeah, like that was again. Dude, how many times did you say that growing up? Like,
a million times.
A bazillion times.
You're like, Rick James, you're like, fuck your couch. Fuck your couch.
Yeah.
You know?
Just all those things, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm trying to think of like what an equivalent.
There's no equivalent
a more
nowadays.
recent show that maybe Josie would know that I could maybe compare it to. Like, I don't know why. I don't know. There's really not. Because that type of comedy doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't exist anymore. It would be like... I don't know. Just
I'll send you something on like YouTube.
Yeah,
like
very. Imagine like just comedy that was it was offensive, but it was like no one actually believes this. This is just jokes.
Family Guy.
Worse than Family Guy.
Worse
put Family Guy.
A lot worse than.
Put Family Guy on TVMA instead of TV 14, and you're heading in the right direction. It's like
and combine it with South Park.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
I've never seen South Park.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's all right. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's the kids these days, man. It's the kids, you know? It's all right. It's okay. Hey. There's probably shows that I've never seen that she's watching, you know? Like,
Euphoria.
I don't even know what Euphoria is.
There you go, Euphoria.
I have no idea what that is.
There's two pretty good reasons you should watch Euphoria.
I don't even know what that is, man.
Don't say it.
I said there's two really good reasons to watch Euphoria.
All right,
one's on the left, one's on the right.
Jesus. I'm going to kill myself.
This one
Don't say that.
Very off the rails.
Don't say that. Euphoria is a great show with a great plot.
I honestly think we're not going to market this at all for work. This one's just going to be, it's going up and we're going to have fun with it. And if people happen to stumble across it, they will.
Fine by me.
We'll clip it. We'll get a lot of good clips.
Yeah, get some clips.
We're going to get the clips from this one.
Get some clips and then just be
I can never be a public figure.
I can only think of one clip, and that's Josie.
That's the Josie's greatest clip,
bro.
That is so good.
That's manly.
Context
mount me.
matters.
No, it doesn't.
That's
not
the internet.
That's manly mount me. That's all it is.
The internet doesn't care.
Can you ASMR that really quick?
Yeah, that's like if someone ever makes like a song, like an auto tune, like the Bed Intruder song. Do you remember that,
dude?
Climbing through your windows. If someone ever did that, that would be like the hook right there. That's manly.
That's manly.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Oh wow. Well, this one is. I don't even know where we go from here, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
That's where we go.
You know what? Let's finish it off with something that's a little like a little more professional,
wholesome,
a little wholesome, something that we can, yeah. Because I can tell we've made Josie uncomfortable today. I apologize.
Josie, are you actually uncomfortable?
No, I just
You're not actually uncomfortable.
Be a public figure.
Public figures? Who's trying to be a public figure?
I mean,
I don't know.
What does your idea of being a public figure look like? What kind of public figure would you even be if you were going to be one?
Wait, this is still on the podcast.
Yeah. Well, don't talk about that part. Like if you I think of a public figure.
I'm just saying, you never know where your career is going to end up, and digital footprints are forever.
I guess for me, I look at this as like
I'm not old like you guys. I got a long way to go.
Wow, bro, clip that. Yo, clip that. Damn.
I got a long
It's like when
time.
Kevin Hart's
I
like,
got
"Damn."
a long time to live.
She's firing back, bro. She's firing back.
Dog, we haven't even made fun of her. Damn.
The way I look at it though is like, here's my thought about social media is that if you look at anyone online who's like the podcast or whatever that people are doing, I think the secret sauce is just authenticity. Like I really do. I think that like whatever podcast people are doing, they all go off the rails from time to time.
Sure.
And you know what? That's okay. Like that's just people being people with their friends. That's just the way that humans work. And I think we've kind of gotten to this spot where people want to pretend
fake it
that
so much.
people want to pretend like that's not how people have always been. Like
Right.
people want to talk and pretend like people don't just like when they're with their friends just talk shit a little bit and have fun and make jokes and like that's just kind of the way the world works. And I think that like if my friends didn't give me shit, I'd almost wonder if we were really friends. You know, it's like, hey, dude, if we can't just joke with each other and like kind of BS, like what does our relationship look like then? Because it's kind of like that's the way that guys typically respond. And then I think again that's part of the social media problem that we see is that people want to always present like they're perfect and like everything is great and like look at everything is perfect about the way I interact with my life and there's nothing wrong with me. And it's like, but then that's a path of eating your own. That's a path of like, oh, if you want to start canceling people, it's only a matter of time before someone finds something they can cancel you on. And it's like, okay, well, do you want to eat your own and live that type of life and be miserable? Or do you just want to be like, hey, sorry, I say some stupid shit sometimes with my friends because I'm a normal person and I apologize if I offended you. I don't hate on anybody. I think everyone should be free to live their lives the way they want to live. And if I offended you, I apologize. Don't watch my stuff. Okay. God bless America.
Right.
You know?
And I just feel like today was just like such a normal conversation. Like this is a normal conversation. We had no script.
Yeah.
This was just how conversations flow. We went from like, oh, you moved from Greece. Oh, you have your DJ business. Oh, it's growing. You're doing successful. Would you think you were there 5 years ago? Okay. To now it's like, oh, who's the GOAT in basketball? MMA talk.
Your story about your mom and how
Sorry about my mom.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Like from like deep stuff like that, you're just like having a normal conversation. Like, what's your opinion on this? Sports, this, music, this. It's been 45 minutes, and Josie can't think of 5 artists she can name.
That's all right.
Maybe it's been 50 minutes. Yeah, but
I said Don Toliver.
you did. I'll give you that. You said Kendrick. You said Drake after I literally fed you those. But you get it.
J. Cole.
You said J. Cole first. Yeah,
It's okay.
J. Cole's pretty fire.
I disagree.
Okay. Huh?
I disagree.
You disagree?
No, I just agree
She agrees.
Just
with you.
Just
Yeah.
agree. There you go.
But
Okay.
but that's
It's
the
just
thing is
normal
like
conversation.
even going back to like the very first thing because it is what we're talking about it. It's like it kind of bothers me that that's a fear in America today. Like the fear of getting canceled or the fear of like, oh, maybe someone doesn't like this and so they don't want to work with me or they don't like this and so they choose to discontinue working with me. And it's like I hope that more of these conversations make that less of something that people are worried about. I hope that people show more grace as we continue to move on because we've seen what the other way of social media looks like. Like during the COVID era where you had to be worried about literally getting kicked off of Twitter at that time or having videos literally censored because of your opinions that you put up on YouTube and like what you could and couldn't say. I'm trying for myself to like just not let that bother me, like to not let that be the thing that influences me. Because again, if you look at like what terrorism is doing something that causes people to be afraid to live their lives the normal way they would live it, that causes them to stop living just how they would live, all things being equal. And when you can get into the hearts and minds of people and cause them to start shifting the way that they act or shifting their belief systems, then you're succeeding. That's what literal terrorism is
it's
supposed
putting
to be.
the fear of I also think not all topics are created equal though. Like when it comes to certain things, like I feel like disagreements over little things, like maybe it's like politically, like you lean a little more this side, you lean a more that side. There's a lot of things morally that are different. A lot of like human rights, people view it in different ways. So I do think certain topics are bigger in a scale and we can't put everything in like the same box, right? Like whether it's like racism or whether it's whatever it may be. I do think some topics are a little bit bigger than others. So people I know, like, you just want to be mindful of certain things. Because this is the day and age that we live in. Like Josie said earlier, like a digital footprint lives forever. You don't want something out in the airwaves that, especially in this day and age of AI, where people can take anything and like construe it however they want and put it out there, and it's something you didn't say, but out of context, like we were talking about, shit can sound crazy. Yeah. And you just don't know. And it is scary. It sucks that this is the day and age we have to live in, but it's terrifying in a way.
I think though that also going back and forth on that, because Josie and I, we were talking about this on our last podcast.
Oh, okay.
Where it's like people get clipped, good or bad. So like the person we ended up talking about a little bit last time was Andrew Tate. So Andrew Tate is very easy to clip him and make him look like a misogynistic, asshole. And maybe he is. I haven't watched enough of his content to know one way or the other, so I don't have an opinion on him. Sure. But I've seen some of his podcasts. I've seen some of the conversations he's had, and some of the things he's like, young men should be young men. Like, okay, I can get behind that, And so I see from both sides, because like, we all have our opinions. I just want people to also understand that, like, because someone has a different opinion from you doesn't mean they're attacking you, doesn't mean that they're, trying to limit your chances or your opportunities to believe what you believe and have the beliefs you want to have. And I just think that, like, we're getting to this spot where for a while we were getting to the spot where it's like, don't ever talk to that person. Don't even give them the chance to talk. Don't give them a platform to talk. Whereas I am much more of the idea and the philosophy that, like, let everybody talk to everybody, because if they have really bad ideas, let them put them out there, and then good ideas will trump those bad ideas, and people will see both. And so that's more what I want, is for people to be like, okay, these are normal people, and maybe they say some shit.
And everyone's definition of normal is like different, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Like like what's normal to me might not be normal to you or to you, but I do agree with that. Like, everyone can come out and say what they say. It's like, if we think it's stupid, cool. Someone else will think it's cool
or funny,
or
whatever.
Or funny, or whatever it may be. And that's like, everyone needs to be able to express that, because the way you become your own person is through listening to everyone else's stuff and formulating your own opinion on certain matters. And if you're only exposed to one certain part of that, you're just going to blindly roll with that, because that's going to be your universal truth, right? So
it's kind of like the common sense aspect of it too. Is like, we were talking about music and this context, and like, I wouldn't listen to Hit 'Em Up with my mom in the car.
Oh, hell no.
There's no chance.
Hell no.
Dude, I was I was in my car yesterday listening to that guy DJ Discretion I was telling you about. Yeah. And he did like a 2000s mashup or whatever, and the one song is like, my neck, my back. That song came on.
What else was licked? Huh? What else was licked?
I'm not going to say anything on that.
Oh, all right. Oh, you know that song.
Yeah.
I think everyone knows that song. But like, I was sitting in my
first
car.
You got to put John Neck into it.
Yeah, I was sitting in my car driving down Reserve, and that song came on, and by myself I was like, oh God, like this is a lot.
Wet. It's great.
This is a little.
I'm soaked right now, bro.
This is a little much, And so I was just like, all right. But again, context matters, because again, the things with podcasts is like, all right, we might be having a conversation. It's like, oh, we're just having fun, and like, but let's be honest, in certain venues, there's probably maybe you don't want to listen to this one with mom in the room, but. That's just common sense. And so like, but that's also the way things go, like with all life and all conversation. And it's like, I don't know, I think when people start accepting that, like, it's okay. It's okay to be a normal person and joke around. So
yeah, man,
we've been going for like right at 2 hours.
Damn.
It's been a fun time here. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that we could slide into. I mean, I feel like we've already done enough damage.
Yeah.
I had fun though.
Yeah, I had fun
a
too.
lot of fun.
I had fun too,
this
man.
Was a good time.
It was a fun conversation.
If you guys made it this far and you watched the whole thing, thank you. I'm excited to see. I don't read the comments, so that's cool. Whatever you guys want to say, go ahead.
Great. I'll read them for it. We'll
see what happens. I am definitely not pushing this one out to the clients. It's going to be the clips, and then, that's what we'll do.
Dude, I can't wait for the clips. There's going to be a million clips. As long as the one clip I want.
Okay.
Dude.
The one clip I want.
That one has the chance to be like something that one's
special. Huge. It sounds like it could be like a Call Her Daddy clip.
It really does.
You know Call Her Daddy.
Yeah, I know Call Her Daddy.
Yeah. You know Call Her Daddy, and you don't know The Chappelle Show. That's 2026, ladies and gentlemen. I know Call Her Daddy. What's The Chappelle Show?
I've actually never watched or listened to Call Her Daddy. I just know what it is.
I sang there. I never listened to it.
either.
I just know because the only reason I know is because that was like a big deal that
The two
Vice
hosts,
President
like,
Harris went on when she was running her campaign. I think she went on to that show. I didn't listen to it, but I remember like that was the first time I ever heard about it. The other stuff, I have no idea what else has been on that podcast. And
it's a lot of sex talk.
God bless America. Good for her.
Yeah,
and and again though, I've never listened to a single thing. I couldn't tell a clip. I have no idea. But at the end of the day, like, it's working. God bless America. Right. It's doing good. And hey, whatever works, people can talk about whatever they want to talk about. And that was what this was all about today, Sam. You know, hey,
yes, sir.
We had a good time.
Yes,
we got to
sir.
hear about your story. Got to hear about you, coming and doing your little. I wish I could have kind of met you before you had like a normal American accent.
It wasn't that bad.
How was it? So let's say, what were you talking like? What would you sound like?
Okay, so
And he can make fun of himself, people.
this was so like you got to remember, this is a combination of me, my mom speaking Greek to me the whole time, my dad speaking English to me the whole time. So my English and my Greek kind of sound a little off right now because the accents and the dialects are so different. On top of that, I'm going to like an English private school where they're teaching elementary stuff like, this is a cat, this is a dog. The cat goes meow meow, the dog goes bark 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 bark. So like I'm learning, I got to deal with that level of English at the time, and then my dad is speaking like normal, like with the American accent and all that. So I'm like a hybrid of all these things right now. So I would say when I first moved here, it wasn't quite as you can tell, my T's are a little more T right now. There's a little more pronunciation in it. Certain words would kind of sound like these, but then in other aspects, I was able to just talk like this. So there were just, I don't know, some people still tell me I have an accent now.
I don't hear it
some
at all.
Some people tell me certain words I have an accent on, and maybe it still exists. I don't think so. But
how did you get?
But some of my closest.
How did you stop having an accent? Is it like?
It's just repetition. I mean, and remember, like, I never had a hardcore accent. It wasn't like, oh my God, it's Borat, but it was closer to, okay, this guy's not from the United States of America. He speaks English and he processes English and all that, but he's not from the States. He doesn't sound like an American, and as I said, it was things that, how I didn't have an accent at all anymore is just repetition. The more you do something, the better you become at it, as long as you're like committed to it. And it wasn't like I was actively thinking about it. It's like, dude, you have to stop talking like this and start talking like this. It just comes naturally. It just comes naturally. And once I was able to like pick up a lot more on the slang and what certain words meant, because like I knew English for what it was word-wise. Like if you say like, that's hot, like Paris Hilton, that's hot. I'm just like, well, what, is the temperature increased? Or like you're like, yo, she's so cool. I'm like, what's that? Or like, when people used to use rad all the time. Like, yo, that's totally rad. I'm just like,
lit or whatever.
It's lit. Yeah, like shit like that. I'm like, okay, hot means temperature. Cold, chilly means
I can actually relate to this because now I'm doing this with my son where he's like, Dad, I got mad Riz. And I was like, what the hell does that mean, dude? He's like, I got Riz. I'm like,
right.
The fuck is Riz, bro?
Yeah, exactly. So like those words, I was like, what does that mean? Or like, yo, that's chill, dog.
Yeah.
That's chill, dog. Like a dog, it's cold. Yeah. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But then, those are things that you're just like, the more you hear them. And I never had like the courage to like go up to someone and be like, what do you mean when you say that? It was more context. It was just like, that's cool, that's chill. Like, I was like, okay, that's something good. And then calling each other like, what up, dog? It's like, okay, that's like saying, what's up, bro? And bro means brother, but it doesn't mean your actual brother.
Yeah.
It's your friend. So like we're picking up on all this
so
shit
basically
now.
Our life stories are the same because of the stage I'm at now. I don't know what my kids are saying. So like we basically have the same experience.
Yeah. That's mad swag, Riz, 6'7", brain rot, tongue.
I don't even know.
Low key fire.
I do say fire a lot.
Yeah.
I say let's go a lot now too.
That's a Tom Brady thing. Yeah. I was like, let's fucking
Yeah,
go.
I say let's.
Let's go has always been a thing.
It has.
Like,
I wasn't as big for
me.
Things that I've picked up as an adult that I didn't say, I say 100% now a lot. That's from my buddy Richard. He would say 100% all the time. And I picked that up from him, but it's something that a lot of people say. Let's go. I feel like I honestly picked that up from teaching the kids jujitsu class, because the kids
Really?
are like, let's go. Yeah. They say, like, they get all pumped because they watch all these sports. Like, I don't watch a lot of
Yeah,
sports
I
anymore.
think that's what it is for
Yeah.
me too. Like growing
Yeah.
up in the sports environment, always like, let's go.
Yep.
I'm like,
And so like they're just like, let's go. And I'm like, all right. And I've picked that up. But yeah, I don't know. It's just the kids these days. I don't know what they're saying, but I had a lot of fun, man. I think this was a great conversation. I think for the right crowd, they're going to love it.
I had a blast.
For the wrong crowd, they're going to think we are horrible human beings. And you know what? God bless America. If we ever get merch, that's going to be the first shirt I have. God bless America.
GBA.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Sam, as we're wrapping up, man, thank you so much. Why don't I know you've mentioned your website a little bit, but just so we can throw it in the not the comments, but the description below on our YouTubes, and just with the stuff that we're posting, how can people find you? What are your socials? And if someone wanted to book you or talk to you about getting booked for their upcoming wedding in the Montana area, how would they find you?
I mean, phone call, text message, email. My website is djdasios.com, djdasios.com. My Instagram is at s.dasios. I get inquiries from my website. Mostly people submit like the submission form, but sometimes people will straight up call me or text me. I booked a couple weddings off TikTok actually last week.
Nice.
I got inquiries from TikTok, a lot coming from Instagram. Just find me, get a hold of me, whatever way is easier. I'm not sure about like letters anymore. Maybe don't do that. I'm not going to give out my address out here in the public, but yeah, social media, phone call, whatever works easier.
I have to ask too, just as we're finishing up, because something we didn't go through.
Sure.
What makes a great DJ?
Caring. I would say caring. It's easy for someone to make like a pre-made playlist and be like, this is what I'm going to play for cocktail hour. This is going to be dinner. This is intros. This is cake cutting. This is your first dance, father, daughter, mother, son, anniversary, dollar, garter, bouquet. The shoe game happens here. And this is a generic playlist for the rest of the night. You can just like hit play. You can set it to like auto mix and you can fuck off and do whatever you want. Like being engaged, listening, like watching the crowd, being able to help other vendors. For me, like if I see dinner is delayed a little bit, making sure I'm on the microphone, I'm making the announcement, I'm letting them know we're starting the speeches. Oh wait, grandma has to go to the bathroom, to remind people to go fill up their cup. And sometimes like, you know, like just making everything run smoothly and actually genuinely caring, because it's not just a job. You're not some like lifeless person behind a computer pressing play and like, whatever, I'm just playing music for these people and I don't care. Like you have to care, like genuinely. You have to be a people person. You have to form relationships with these people. And then, as I said, some of the people I've met through the industry are my closest friends in the world right now. So like there's a level of pride, responsibility, and truly caring about amplifying these people's day that makes you good at what you are. That's what it comes down to. If you don't care, it's going to be evident. It's got to show. So
perfect way to finish, dude. And what a great way to I mean, I feel like if someone saw you, I'd be like, that guy looks like he's going to be fun. Let's bring him in. So
yes, sir.
But with that, hey, thank you so much, Sam, for being
absolutely.
on.
Thank you guys for having me.
Appreciate it. This was a great time. And guys, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. We'll catch you soon. Josie, kind of threw you under the bus a little bit today.
That's okay.
Top 5 artists.
Nope.
I tried.
All right, guys, thank you so much. We'll catch you on the next episode. Take care.
Bye.